What's up, team? I'm with Shorty Alvarez right now. We're just sitting on the couch, and before we started recording, we were just talking about potential podcast ideas. So, Shorty, going for, God damn it, I fucked it up.
I like it. It's original.
Yeah, I'll just leave it in. Yeah, I
Yeah.
tried to prepare that. I'll
Yeah.
leave it in. I think
You
it'd be
gotta
funny
leave it
to
in.
leave it in.
You gotta leave. That's raw.
Yeah,
Podcasting at its raw.
that's why it can't be scripted. I just
Yeah.
completely fucked that up.
I just enjoy seeing you smile through it opposed to being
I
hard on
know,
you.
it's
Some people
like-
would be like, "Oh, fuck this! I fucked up. Gotta restart."
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so what did you want to say about like a podcast idea that you had coming up?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem.
It's very. You guys don't know, but I got rolled out the red carpet. I got candy and snacks. That goes a long way in my heart. But the ideas I typically have, I always want them to be imaginative, and I always want them to incorporate music because that not only how we met, but that is just, I think for me and you or the same. That's like your core belief. That's just something that if expressive and art and imagination, and you get to be at the helm, I'm gonna have original music. So one of the things I would like to do is I would like to blend original music with original writing, and kind of going off of, I remember your first episode with Jeff, how he had this like really cool theme for his music, because I remember it was the Ghost Train, but it was something different. It was something.
Oh, well, there was a ghost train than the Metal Man from Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like the ideas, and I didn't even once he started talking about the Mothman, I was like, "Yo, I didn't know Jeff was in all this. This is cool."
Yeah, you gotta go. Maybe we'll have both of you on at the same time one day, and you guys can like talk all this out. But yeah, Jeff's got a lot of like interesting little cryptids. I think they're
that's
called.
that's the exact word I was just gonna use.
Yeah, he's got all these like interesting cryptids that I was listening to that actually. I was like, I feel like I'm forcing myself on Jeff trying to do vocals
Yeah.
on his fucking thing too much. It's like I keep bringing it up, so I'm sorry, Jeff. Shout out to Jeff.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Lane. That was that was really cool. This isn't to sound judgmental. Obviously, me and you haven't been in the same room in a long time, but from the person I remember, you're always a soft-spoken, very nice guy. But I was very, very shocked to hear you bring all that to the table. I was like, this dude, I gotta talk to him. Like cryptid, ghouls, ghosts, spectral ghost train. That
Yeah.
is when that came out of his mouth, it was like I was fucking fist pumping. Like
Yeah.
Jeff Lane, spectral ghost train, but how that can correspond with music, and this will come back to the focal point of the question you asked, but what you could do with music with a concept like that, and if you want to add in original writing or original vocals or thematics with like orchestras and scores, things like that. When I look at podcasts, that's just beautiful because it's not as typical. Like one thing I like about your podcast is your voice is just beautiful. It's audio butter. I enjoy listening to it.
Thank
You
you.
got to give yourself more credit.
It's a lot higher than I anticipate it being. I don't know. It sound higher on the podcast than it does in real life?
No, to me, excuse me, when I hear your voice, it reminds me, and I think I said it to you, if I'm listening to like a smooth jazz radio station.
I'm a bit more energetic now than I was on like like the recording I did with Kyle though. I don't know what it was too. I felt like shit like all
Yeah.
day today. I thought I was like getting sick, and I know this was like last minute, but I was at first like, man, should I bail? But I'm glad I didn't. I'm like,
I'm glad you didn't either.
yeah, I feel a lot better too. But that's what happens too. It's something, not to like completely go off topic, but that's something I've like kind of learned. Is like, you know, even if I feel like shit, if I just get up and start doing what I got to do, it's like I don't feel like shit anymore. And that's kind of like what I just told myself. I'm like, if I get up, you know, just start doing stuff, get in the car, just start, you know, getting ready and everything, then I'll be energized and ready for this recording, you know, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it sounds like you're getting the blood flowing, you know?
Yeah, it feels good.
And you slowly knock out any sort of maybe even anxiousness or nervousness. Because sometimes, you know, so man, I know I've definitely had days where I'm like, all right, I want to do this. Fuck, then I got to deal with this, deal with that. And it's not like it's even hard. It's just sometimes hard to just motivate yourself to do the smallest thing. and I think it's commendable and respectable. I think everyone goes through something, or even if someone can make it through the end of the day and they didn't kill themselves or they didn't go off the walls. I mean, hey, everyone deserves a little pat on the back for just getting by sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of cliche, but something I always tell people, I'm like, you can get through anything. You wouldn't be alive right now if you couldn't get through everything.
Yeah.
Nothing's killed you yet. That's super cliche, but it's like, I don't know.
Trust me, sweetheart, going to the grocery store ain't as hard as your mind is making it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, and I can be like a little bitch about shit sometimes. I wouldn't say I'm lazy, but I want to be lazy. I'm active. I keep myself busy, but I just, deep down inside, there's like a lazy person that just wants to come out,
Oh, I get it. I am I can probably say I'm living what you're talking, and it ain't that fun, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. But it's I mean, I think I just grew tired more than anything.
Yeah.
I grew very tired. I mean, I think everyone does, but things happen, relationships can go south.
Well, I think too it's because everybody's eating like shit for the most part, and because it's so expensive to fucking eat good and to live in general, sometimes, or for some people maybe.
No, I get it. My diet is the worst it's been, probably since I was 20.
Yeah, I need to improve my diet. I was on a pretty good streak, but once I started doing what I'm doing now for work, it's just my diet's like fallen away. I'm barely eating sometimes, but I don't know. I can course correct.
No, I feel you. I'm a fucking fat gelatinous fuck, so I must be eating good. It's just all bad.
They like say someone said because I was gaining weight a lot when I was living in Arizona, and someone had told me if you're gaining weight, it means you're eating, and if you're eating, it means you're happy. So I don't know if that means anything.
I don't know, man. Once the depression fit still outlasts the meal, I don't think I'm happy after the meal now. I just feel like a fat, sad sack of shit.
Oh, man. I wouldn't say that about yourself. No.
That's all good.
I disagree.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, you're gorgeous. You're like Jeff Goldblum in a fucking hot pink top right now.
I gotta get a Jeff Goldblum bod going on, though.
Oh, you got the voice in the face, the walk, the height. I saw silhouettes of your dick sometimes. I was just like, Jesus Christ,
That's
this
true.
guy's hanging hog.
That's not true, guys. No. But the podcast idea. Did you still want to talk about that, or do you want to?
I mean, I can just wrap it up.
Oh.
I mean, I can just say it. My bad.
I didn't know because I
know we went completely. We
so
went
far away, so
it's
it was
all
like
good.
I wanted to kind of get us back just in case you wanted to.
I think
kind of finish that up. Or
yeah, I think what I really want to do is just have a creative environment, mostly for myself. Like even if there's no one listening, obviously that's gonna be a bummer. But I think, as you said earlier, once you start doing something, you start like getting the blood flowing, and you go about, and you're like, oh, it's not bad, it's good. But it's that motivation. So even if I start somewhere, I just want to turn old graphic novels that I've probably written when I was 14, 15, and just speak on them, and maybe add some music, ambient sounds, and whether it gains traction or not, for me, it is still creative expression, and that's the main thing I want to do, and I want to maybe try to start a community of individuals who, like yourself, you can just collaborate, bring on board. And it's just nice being able to have your own ideas and you can be at the helm. But when you can weed out and find the right ones that you can coexist with, I think that's for me. And I just really want to make a community for just anyone who doesn't want to lose their passion. Because I know sometimes that's a real struggle to want to keep going. Want to keep, I know for myself, keep playing. So a podcast with cool graphic novels, cool little sounds, and each thing can be a story, kind of like scary stories to tell in the dark. I would like to do something like that, something reminiscent. Each episode can be 15, 20 minutes, different monsters, different beings. Obviously, I love horror, so that's just something that's never going to leave also the creative process. Something like that. If that answers anything, I hope it does.
I thought that's awesome. There are two things I wanted to touch on. One, I I agree, and I love the idea of creating like an environment or a world, a community of people who can come together and collaborate across different mediums, just find different involvement. I was thinking of a way to like maybe start some kind of page where you can like access like this is for like film, or like this is for sound, this is for music, this is for hand drawn animation, this is for graphic design, and find a way to be like, okay, I need somebody for this. Here are talented people in this area that do this, and people who are willing to kind of collaborate and come together for bigger projects, as opposed to like, oh, I'm getting paid to like do this job or to contribute. Like,
Yeah.
it's just as opposed to it just being a gig. Like, people who can like find, maybe go to like profiles and like look at projects people are doing and see like, oh, they need like this person right now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
this interests me. Let me hop on board. I don't know if it can be done. I feel like there's something there though. So I love what you're doing, and I kind of want to really keep people like you. Jeff has the same idea. There's a lot of people doing music. I kind of want to keep everybody like that, like pretty close.
Yeah, keep a nice little cipher, a circle of good quality people, as well as what they bring with themselves. That that'll helps a lot. They both go hand in hand, because after a while, once the skill and talent gets overshadowed by a person who's kind of like a piece of shit or whatever, it's
Well, I have
I know my patience has ran dry when it comes to that field. So
Oh no, that's understandable. So I just wanted to say this before I lose train of thought, and if I say it on mic, it'll make sure like I think both of us remember. But I do have a film opportunity coming up very soon. It might be like last minute. I'll give you more details off mic.
Okay.
But if you want to be a part of it, I mean, it's something that doesn't pay now. If like I get a good crew, it could eventually like start paying. So if you want to be a part of it,
I make very good for like that background character who's just yelling the racist remarks. So I can probably fit the scene well.
It's on the production side of things, like camera work.
I yell very good racist remarks behind the camera.
Yeah, you can pull a Christian Bale or whatever.
There you go.
Just be like, I can't do a Christian Bale impression, but so
do a Michael Richards impersonation.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No,
Michael Richards, Seinfeld. He did Kramer. And his career went coming. Yeah, we're not gonna go there. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm kidding, obviously.
I didn't know his actual name. The South Park bit on that. That was
it's absolutely
solid.
amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
What was the last thing you said before I interrupted you? I apologize.
I don't recall. Is this going back to like the podcast idea or just a few seconds ago?
It doesn't matter. We can like skip past it. I do have a second thing that I wanted to ask you. Are you? And I apologize if I've derailed everything.
Oh no, it's completely fine.
How are you with drawing? How's your drawing ability? Because I know you were talking about graphic novels. Like,
my drawing is not that good. My brother's, shout out to Dan Alvarez. His was very good, and I remember, and he can, attest on a comment or whatever. I would sometimes write things real quick and be like, "Hey, can you maybe draw a little panel out?"
Yeah,
and it was far and few, but seeing his creative vision, it was very nice.
Yeah,
and it was cool also having a sibling that you can be like, "Hey, can you think you can draw this up? I got this idea," and it's counterintuitive where now if he wasn't drawing, you give him something fresh and you don't know where the person is maybe in that time of life, but if it gets them back going, that's always good. So shout out to him. He was very good at drawing.
Yeah, because I was like, I have some graphic novel type of ideas that I've just been kicking around in my head for years, and that was something I've always thought about. I don't really know many people who are good at drawing that are willing to do it on the level of graphic novel or like hand-drawn animation or something like that. Is that something your brother would be interested in doing? Or
well, I know him with pen to paper was the last I've obviously seen of it. I have no idea if he does anything with digital design.
Yeah.
I can definitely ask him. I know the last thing he was doing was like learning coding and things like that. So I know he's still. I mean, if you're still in the realm, I know he can probably try and pick it up.
Yeah.
I could always just ask him. As a matter of fact, if he'll probably hear this, like, that motherfucker hasn't even called me back. I do need to call him back, just as he's a fan member checking in.
No, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to mention, to go back to the podcasting and the ideas, is it would just be nice for. Imagine doing a show like if I'm doing my thing where it's like, oh, this week's episode is this, that, and the other thing. It's creative, but if someone wants to send you something like, hey, I didn't really, I don't have a channel yet, but would you mind listening to my stuff? And if it's good or to your liking, would you like? It's like being on radio. Would you like putting it on air?
Yeah.
Now you have another episode in your week. It's like, hey, I would like to extend this to this person. They did the work. I'm just airing it. Those interchanging beings that have to be there to make like those gears.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm starting to like speed up. I'm saying because my brain is really taking in the question.
Yeah.
And
I was doing that a little earlier too. Yeah.
It goes back to even your podcast with Kyle. Like, you do need a good community, like with the scene. When it came to the Indiana scene, the Illinois scene, I hard agreed what you were talking about, dude. I hard agreed.
That was one of the things where I was like, I don't remember what I said. I remember getting a little louder.
Yeah, and I don't harbor any sort of ill feelings towards them or any of the individuals, because you're all young, you're learning, whatever. But when you're that age and you're going through that shit, and it's just like, you know what, you guys are fucking cocksuckers, man. I barely like any of you.
Do you want to get into specifics, or you don't?
I mean, we can. I'll wrap this up, but I'll wrap the previous question up. We can get in this segment.
We got a lot of
so just to actually have something where, let's just say someone's 20 years old, they're skilled, talented, hardworking, whatever, and they can actually go to a community where you will be well placed, or you will have an opportunity or a chance, because that's just how you create better people, I guess,
And this is
more
also
confidence.
This is a good area to do something like that. And we were kind of fortunate to, I think, live as close as we do to one of the bigger cities. You know what I mean?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, number 3 metropolitan city, in terms of size and population. And it's an absolute juggernaut when it comes to anything that is modern cuisine, even if it's cuisine, technology, anything of the sort of social gatherings.
Yeah.
Chicago definitely is it. That's where, if you can actually utilize these things for well-being instead of just money, and actually want to have a core principle that matters, something that is a quality to speak to other individuals and, create trust. I think that's a big thing, is to create trust where people want to send their talents in this direction because they know no one's going to fucking pull one over on them or something like that.
So, question. You just raised a question, so now we're about to have another thread hanging.
Okay.
So we'll get to the local scene. We'll get to that. But this one will be quicker. Would you consider doing, like, catering? Like, so say, like, if I have I want to eventually get more involved with film when I start to, like, on the production side of things, when I start to get better equipment. Would you take on, like, a catering gig or something? Like, it doesn't even have to be, like, too over the top, like, basic, like, finger foods, and then at the end of the night, like, maybe burgers or something.
Most definitely. I mean, we
would pay for your supplies and everything, and then who knows, if we need someone else on screen, you could probably, like, fill a role or something. You know?
Now I'm the caterer in the back saying racist remarks from
exactly.
No,
you have a good build. You could be like, we could be filming the next Halloween, and you could be Michael Myers.
Now that would be a dream come true, man. That certainly would. I'll stake that claim now. That would be a dream come true. But yeah, catering and food related things, I'm typically up for. What always matters to me most is, who is this person presenting it to me? Not like, who are you, but are you actually going to follow through?
Because you should present the food. And who are you?
Yeah, there's been many times where someone's like, oh, would you be willing to cook or whatever? And it's like, well, I can do this and get this. It'll cost this much. Oh, that's too much. It's like, bro, I'm trying to give you like a really good rate here.
Yeah.
So that coincides with, are you gonna follow through with this? Like, if I get all this stuff, you're not gonna be like, oh, this is canceled, and now I'm out of money.
It would be like pretty basic, just because the very few like film sets that I've been on, if you go above and beyond for food, it usually won't get eaten. But if you get like finger foods or like pizza, it usually gets eaten. So I was thinking, like, I know you handle food with care, and it's something you really take pride in. So I was thinking, like, you would be someone that I think I would be able to trust with like charcuterie options, then finger foods, and then at the end of the day having like a very home cooked, like simple, but like, like burgers, something that everybody typically universally loves. I would provide like Beyond Meat, probably, if there's people who don't want meat or anything. I don't know. Have you cooked Beyond?
I don't know, boy. I can't do that now.
Yeah,
no, I'm messing with you.
Yeah,
no, I've messed
like,
with
get your
Beyond Meat.
fucking pussy out.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, one of these type of party.
Yeah.
One of those, huh?
Yeah.
Woo, pinkies out. no, I've dealt with Beyond Meat or vegan meats, and I've dealt with, what do you want to call it, a veggie patty, bean patty, or you make your own?
I love a bean patty, actually.
Yeah, I do like a good one. A good one is a good one.
I'm pretty sure that's what the Beyond Meat is, or something similar. That plant-based meat, I think it's beans, because it tastes very similar. My cousins, my cousin Emily and like her husband Nate, they would have Beyond Burgers when I lived in Arizona, and so I grew to like the taste. It doesn't taste like hamburgers.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It doesn't taste like meat. Don't let people lie to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But if you can accept the not meat taste that you're getting, then you'll be good with it.
If you can just be happy with the nourishment.
Yeah.
And not what you're actually salivating on.
Yeah.
You'll be just fine.
I'll take a Beyond patty over a turkey hot dog any day, though. A turkey hot dog is just like nothing for me. Like zero flavor.
I can agree. I've had bad turkey dogs and I've had good turkey dogs. I've had bad turkey patties. I've had good turkey patties. Things like that. Go to your butcher, folks. Get them to grind it up if you want them. Like, hey, add some seasoning or something.
That's a good move. I need a butcher out here. Arizona, it was easier to find seafood places, which is weird because there's like no like real water in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then butchers, it was easier to find butchers too. You could actually go to any like convenience store actually that has like a deli, and I think you might have been someone who told me this, that you could just ask the person at the deli to order you meat and they'll put it on their like list and you just pay them.
Probably because that's advice I try to give people.
Yeah, you were the one who told me, and I did that in Arizona. I took that advice. I would use that with the seafood guy over at Safeway.
I'll never forget when I was working at. Does it care if I name drop places or anything?
It's up to you.
It's fucking free endorsement assholes at Bizio's.
Yeah.
When I was working at Bizio's, I hope you hear this. When I was working at Bizio's,
is this a bad?
No. I actually didn't mind the work. The ownership just is not.
Bizio's.
I'm pretty sure they got many employees who are like, management sucks. The owner's a dick. And
Bizio's, if you're listening, and we know that you are. I like the tamales you guys have there. So it's probably a white dude making it or something. But no, well, I don't know who makes the tamales, but sponsor this podcast and pay me in tamales. But back to what
again,
you were
wasn't
saying.
a bad work experience. It's just, what do you guys? Oof, I won't go down that rabbit hole. But I'll never forget when a gentleman came in and was just like, I got an order for a case of wings. I'm like, a case of wings? Like, we do that? Granted, I was young, and I think this was like my second butcher gig, but it was actually way more proper, than Millennium on 16th Street in the Heights. That is different as a wild animal.
You worked there?
Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times ditching. I think it was either in grade school or it was ditching high school or both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Ooh, wild times there. Real crazy. I mean, hey, great for when you need if someone just want to hand you some bud for doing your job. Awesome. But other than that, there's not a lot of perks.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school in Rich East when they were still around.
Oh, okay, yeah. So where did you live around that time?
Park Forest.
Park Forest. Okay, Pofo.
Yeah, yeah. Because I didn't meet all you guys until a show would divide.
Yeah, I was thinking about this on my drive to go meet you. I fucking I've known you longer than I've like been friends with like Victor, Kirby, and all of them. I knew like of them, but I was like, oh, that's so weird that like I met you guys and like started like getting to know you guys before I knew like these other musicians that I went to high school with. And then I was just like, damn, that is kind of weird, like that we all just kind of like met and like we all still know each other all these years later. And I met you not even in this state. We met in like Indiana.
Yeah, Porter's Tap, Kennedy Avenue.
Shout out to Porter's Tap.
Shout out to Porter's. Thank you for paying us a beer.
Yeah, you guys covered For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah. Worst drums I ever heard in my life. But you gotta muscle through it.
I don't remember who your drummer was.
Shout out to Miguel Mota. No offense. You knew Matthew never liked your drumming.
Damn, how's Matthew doing?
I have no clue.
Oh, I like that was Scar Ugly.
Yeah,
Scar Ugly.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, you guys were solid. You guys were solid.
Man, that was some crazy times, man.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
Geez, what year was that? That would have been 2009. 2009. So I would have been a freshman in high school going into sophomore
year. I was
year.
19.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, trust me, I remember meeting you.
You were 19. I was 15 then.
I remember meeting you.
Playing at fucking bars. Neither of us were 21. That's so weird. Because you looked like you were probably like 25 at the
bro,
very
when I was
least.
16, I was going to Bocce's bar and Matt's and my brother watching Bears games and shit. Like, and they would bring an extra frosty mug for the pitch. They didn't ID me.
You've always been like, in my head, so much older than me. I think because I met you at a bar.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like you have like looked a lot older than me. And now that like we're both like in our 30s, we look like we're around the same age, I would say. I know.
I mean, how old are you again?
30.
I'm 34.
Yeah. So we look like we belong in like the same age group. Back then we didn't. It's very different.
You were very much more, I don't want to say reserved or shy, but you were you, and I respected it because it was no different than when I met Dylan.
I didn't respect it. I hated who I was back then.
I mean, granted, I wasn't in your skin, but
it took me a while to like find my voice, I think, and like really kind of be comfortable just being whoever the fuck I want to be, and like not be any kind of like expectation for like anybody in any point in my life, you know?
No, I feel that, dude, and it's. I guess proper channeling. You know, you're human.
Mm-hmm.
You went through it. I mean, fuck, dude. You figure if you as a person was already like that, and you're like, I want to play metal bass, and you're gonna go to a completely different environment, but you met. You know, one thing I liked is I met a lot of solid people playing metal music. You know.
Oh, I mean, metal. Even though
or music in general, I should say.
Well, but even though since I've gotten older, I've expanded into like more genres, and I probably listen to metal less than I listen to pop or like hip hop at this point. And that doesn't mean that I don't listen to metal. I listen to metal every day still, but my playlist is more like pop and hip hop, or a lot of like electronic music, a lot of movie scores, like the Old Boy score.
Old Boy drop.
On. Yeah, the Last Waltz specifically.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think it was the podcast you did by yourself.
The Furiosa episode.
One of them had a Last Waltz name drop, and I remember I was pumping my fist in the air because, first of all, Old Boy is one of my favorite films. Spike Lee, I've never watched your version. I don't know why you even wanted to touch it.
Oh, it's fucking awful, dude.
I don't even want to get into it.
I've seen it twice just to try and understand it. See, I watch movies. Unlike some people, and I'm not going to name names, I watch movies I don't like to either try and find something I care about in it or to try and understand it. There are some movies I won't revisit and won't touch. I'm sorry if you like Boondock Saints. I can't fucking stand those movies.
I'm not big on Boondock Saints.
But like, there's some movies I won't touch or revisit. But like, that one, yeah. I'm just like, I wanted to try and understand why this needed to exist. But I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good, because
Old Boy.
When the idea
Such
came,
a special movie.
It's a wonderful movie, and that whole Vengeance trilogy that, man, I'm gonna butcher his name. Was it Pang Soo Wook?
Park Chan Wook.
Park Chan Wook.
I
See, I
haven't
was way
seen
off.
Mr. Vengeance. I've seen Lady Vengeance, and I've seen Old Boy.
I enjoy all three of them. I love Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, and the OST for that movie is really good as well.
I heard Mr. Vengeance is one of his weaker films in general.
Out of the three,
yeah.
But Old Boy, just to wrap that up, that movie has a special place in my heart. I remember cutting class at Rich East. I think I cut 7th and 8th period where there was that family video on Sauk Trail.
Yeah.
I walked there. I was like, you know what? I keep seeing this movie. They do like 2 for $1 back then. It was like you rent 2 movies for $1.
Yeah.
So I was, I'll take this. And I think that's when I also rented The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for the first time.
Nice.
So I was going down my Clint Eastwood rabbit hole.
And the case for Old Boy, I think, would have been the one where they're walking through the street, and it's the like neon lights,
and it looks like a marquee going. Was that vertical?
Yeah.
And it says Old Boy. Yeah, that always won. I would always look at that.
Yeah, I have a Blu-ray with that cover. It's so cool. It's my favorite. I want to get a movie poster of it. I don't know if it's a film cliche to have an Old Boy poster.
No, I don't think so.
There's some movies I love where I'm like, is this like too cliche to own shit of?
Bro, if I saw that poster anywhere, I'd be like, you know what? I wasn't expecting to suck a dick, but I respect this person.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad you'll have a poster down there if you so choose to put that poster down here.
Well, since this isn't my place right now, I've got a lot of posters.
Oh, you gotta put it on there. You gotta be
put
rebellious.
away. Well, I gotta buy a frame
over.
first. I get all the posters framed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that.
So I'm gonna get a frame. Like I've got an Avengers Endgame poster. I have a My Neighbor Totoro poster. An Aliens poster. I have like a Breaking Bad canvas. I have a bunch of different stuff going on that I can't hang up just yet. I have a Guardians of the Galaxy one, and I'm
okay. You mess with the Studio Ghibli films, huh?
Yeah, I've seen I don't have anything against like Studio Ghibli. It's just
Ghibli. My bad.
Oh no, it's fine. I've heard it pronounced both ways. We should just pronounce it both ways just to make sure our bases are covered.
And let's just make sure like we offend at least one group.
Yeah.
One half at a time.
Exactly. Hayao Miyazaki's movies are the ones I've specifically watched just because I know he's the head of the studio. There have been some people I've talked to where they've mentioned a movie and I've been like, oh, that's not Miyazaki. And they're like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, I can't argue with them. Can't be that guy. I'm like, I know that it's not, but I'm like, I can't be that guy.
Sometimes it's better to walk away, man.
Yeah. I try not to be the know-it-all film guy. It's like if I think a movie sucks, I won't like yuck somebody's yum. If it's someone who like wants to have a film discussion though that isn't like a coworker or someone off the street, like if you and me had that conversation, I would like be brutally honest, but it's like, you know, there are some people where I'm just like, okay, I gotta like not, you know, I gotta understand they're not into the same things I'm in. You know, and if they want to see Godzilla X Kong 3 times, then that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna tell them I think that movie sucks.
I mean, what movie did I watch 3 times in a theater? I think that's a very, very, very select few.
Oh, that's also not about you, Kyle. Sorry, that was just the first example
totally
that came to mind. It was not.
He held up a whiteboard that had your name on it.
Yeah, I did.
I saw Watchmen 3 times in the theaters.
Dude, I love Watchmen.
I loved the novel, and then seeing it, it was I'll Die on the Hill. I think it's one of the most well done converted films from a graphic novel into an actual film. I like the adaptation of it. I like what they did with the end, and kind of cut that off as well. I would also say the first Sin City was a very good graphic novel to film because I remember, I mean, I had been like 16, 17. I had the That Yellow Bastard graphic novel, and when it came to the That Yellow Bastard arc when they start in the beginning and then they obviously finish at the end. I was turning page for page for shot. It very much is like a replica of panel to panel that they did.
Sin City?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Sin City.
You never seen it?
No, I'd like to. It's not that I've been avoiding it. It's just one of those things that just never happened. It hasn't been on, like, it hasn't been for sale or, like, on sale. It hasn't, like, been on a streaming service when I've been flipping through it. It might be on something now, but it hasn't come across my radar and presented itself when it's been opportune to watch it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have to like tell people, because a lot of people, like, the reaction you gave me was a very normal reaction. Thank you for not, like, giving me a hard time for not seeing it.
You never seen Sin City, bro?
Yeah, I'm like, I have, like...
We're gonna storm the Capitol.
I have, like, 10,000 movies logged on Letterboxd. It's like, holy shit, like, sorry I didn't get to fucking every Stanley Kubrick movie.
Excuse me, Robert Rodriguez, I did not watch Spy Kids 4 or Sin City.
That's why when people, like, tell me, like, have you seen The Room? The Tommy Wiseau movie?
Yeah, the Tommy Wiseau one,
When people, like, tell me, they're like, The Room is a masterpiece, I'm like, it's not a masterpiece. You can have fun with it. I get, like, appreciating it. The Disaster Artist, yeah, that's a good movie. After that came out, there were people who, like, aren't into film that were telling me, like, The Room is a masterpiece. I had, like, posted something about how The Room is a bad movie, like, genuinely bad.
Oh, it's a genuinely bad movie.
Yeah, it's, like, not even, like, so good it's bad. I'm like, it's just fucking, I can't watch this thing.
The joy is picking it apart.
Yeah, maybe with, like, a crowd, it would be a different experience, but, like, by myself, I was like, there's no entertainment value to be found in this thing. And someone had been like, what? No, The Room is a masterpiece. Have you seen The Disaster Artist? It's like, yeah, The Disaster Artist makes you appreciate the story of it getting made. I mean, Tommy Wiseau's still a fucking weirdo. Like,
that he is.
You know,
that he
it's
is.
like, you know, that doesn't change a lot of things just because The Disaster Artist exists. Sorry for going on that. Like,
oh, no,
I don't
enjoy
even
it.
remember why I started talking about that, but it's like, it's... Why did I start talking about that again?
Because you hadn't seen Sin City.
Oh yeah. I don't even know why I fucking went on that rant.
No, it's all good.
Relate.
Robert Rodriguez does that
but
to people.
I've seen like a shitload of movies. Like, fucking,
I mean,
I'm sorry I haven't.
Your film
to
catalog,
everything.
The way you are when it comes to
movies. I think it's
movies.
because I got a hard time for not seeing The Room for a long time. But what were you saying? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say the way you are with movies is how I used to be when I was younger. I used to love watching a lot of different films, modern cinema, foreign cinema, movies that had no dialogue or speaking. You know, you're gonna watch the art interpretive movies and things like that. I
can do that sometimes. I tried to watch The Artist. I was like, I can't do this.
That
movie won Best Picture.
Yeah, I know. I just fell off incredibly bad, especially with like TV shows. Like I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones got away from me.
And I don't do the whole like, no, like, you know, people sometimes try to make a personality trait out of it where it's like, oh, I never seen it, fuck that show.
Yeah.
You know, I love that type of stuff, that type of lore.
No, it's just sometimes I get what you mean. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I don't like take pride in it, but I'm also not upset by it. It just, I got to season 2. I wasn't feeling it that much. The show kept going and kept going. Eventually, there's 80 hours of TV. I get to a point, do I want to spend that much time? People hate the ending. Do I want to rush to the ending that everybody hates, dedicate 80 hours to be disappointed, keep track of all of that? Or at least, like, I could fit so many movies in that time and get complete stories and have full thought-out opinions. Yeah. And then also get, like, a lot of different conversations out of those different movies. Game of Thrones, I mean, I missed the boat on it. People are kind of done talking about it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still in the boat of, I can't even really say I've seen Breaking Bad because the only episodes I've seen of Breaking Bad.
What, dude? You haven't seen Breaking? No.
I know, right? He's like, get your little Boehner ass on it. I haven't seen the whole show. I mean, I can't even say I've seen season 1 to decipher season 2, 3, and 4. I just remember sitting in my brother's house. It was good. What I saw on TV, the episodes I saw were good, but did I go home and start it? No. And it's nothing against the show. I am just really bad with shows. Maybe because I'm neurodivergent. I got ADHD. I don't know. but I can't really
Dude,
focus. And when
I
I
like
sit
that.
there, I'm like, do I want to watch the show or should I practice guitar? Should I practice guitar or should
Yeah.
I do this? You know, and then what do I wind up doing? Jerking off, playing video games, and going to bed.
Yeah, it's the indecision that leads to no decision.
Yeah.
That's I've heard. I battle with indecision. I've kind of worked on just forcing myself to make a decision one way or another, but I waste a lot of time because of
Yeah.
indecision. Jeez, what was
Shout
that?
out to Drumeo, that YouTube channel Drumeo. This is a endorsement. That channel is what's been getting me to pick up my guitar though. Watching
Nice.
drummers kind of get uncomfortable with songs that they, obviously they say they haven't heard them. I hope that's legitimate, but it is nice to just see a musician be uncomfortable because then I'm like, you know what? I need to make myself uncomfortable right now and pick up this guitar instead of not making a decision.
Yeah.
Why? First of all, why should I feel uncomfortable picking up the guitar? I've done it for so long. It's just I always struggled with that other half in my mind. Like, should you be doing this, or is there something else more productive? But that was also shit I constantly kind of heard growing up, and I'm like, I think I just got to play through it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just play through it, or surround myself with it, where I can put on, let's say, your podcast. I can put that on in the background, pick up a book and read because I also, I still love literature. I still love reading.
Yeah.
This is why, and man, this is going to go completely back to the beginning. The podcast idea, the one in which I propositioned, I don't know. I guess I want it to be a Twitch stream channel because I call those podcasts sometimes, which I'm pretty sure that's a streaming channel. That's probably, something completely different. But I know they sometimes live stream podcasts or whatever.
Yeah, you can probably consume it in a similar way. I've never really watched Twitch or done anything with that. It just seemed like a whole different thing that I wasn't prepared for. I've already got all these other podcasts I listen to in YouTube, and then you know what I mean.
No,
But,
I feel you.
I'd assume that Twitch could probably be used in the same way that podcasting can be used, or like narrative storytelling. You could probably do like live narrative storytelling on Twitch, and then whatever you record on Twitch, post it as like a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know people do like narrative Dungeons and Dragons. You could probably do something like that on Twitch.
Because it'd be nice for those to visualize as well.
Yeah.
And see it get done. And like I said, if you want to start building like a community, now they can see other people, and it'd be dope to have the PBS of Twitch channels.
Yeah. Like a publicly funded type of thing. Isn't that PBS's type of deal?
That as well, but I guess just the channel that's for everyone who wants to just come and be seen. Like, let's say the channel itself has a reputation for viewership, and it's just like, well, today we're going to feature this artist. They're coming from so and so, from so forth. Have them on and be like, oh, hi, because you can just at that point they're just doing it from their house. You just fucking.
So can you have anyone speak when you're on Twitch? I
believe so. Yeah. In terms of like if like me, like if you're somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure you can set up Discord chats or things like that.
What about people who are watching? Can they, like, say someone just watching, can you have people from like the chat or whatever?
I know they can comment in the chat,
so
or
they
sometimes
wouldn't be able
they
to
can
come on and speak.
You can probably set it up, but you won't be able to set up a lot of people. You probably have to set up specific people.
I know, because I was thinking, like, taking something like this and applying it to Twitch, but making it almost like a talk show type of format.
Exactly. Yeah. Because imagine doing this, and it's just like, you know what? We're going to take a little break, but we got this up-and-coming chef in the area. We'd like to have them on. And then now you got a stream channel going so they can showcase themselves. Obviously all this takes time, and for me, I want to start. One, I got to better myself. I got to get right before I start, doing the things I say I want to do, because I need to just do them and not say them, obviously.
It'll happen. And when you get in like a good mindset and a good space, like, I don't know how all this shit just starts happening. It's almost like by accident. You just start ending up in shit, and then you're like, fuck, now I'm doing too much.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of the times for me, I like to, I want to do this by myself, and it's nothing against nobody. I prefer typically to work by myself. I've always been a very to myself individual, just in my own right. But it's something where I want to embrace the challenge, prove, not have anything to prove, but just in myself, just know you're doing what you want to do and you want to be at the helm. And like I said, when you can help others and you can start deciphering who you want to bring along to work together, you're going to minimize a lot of the chatter or a lot of the, hey, it'd be dope if we do this, or hey, I'd like to work with you, or hey, I got an idea. Because again, like we've learned through music, like there's times I didn't have my shit together. I take a lot of the fault. I'll be honest right here, and I don't know if Anthony or Victor will ever maybe listen to this, but with Of the Dead, I take responsibility for why that didn't keep going.
So Of the Dead's officially over then?
Yeah, for the most, yeah, I would have, yeah, yeah.
I was just listening to your guys' EP before we started doing all of this. I still really like your guys' stuff. I like it a lot. So this is the first time hearing of it, so that's a shame.
You know what? I really, I mean, I love those guys. They were my brothers from other mothers, and I have really good relationships with each of them. And sometimes, like meeting, when I look back and how we met, I'm very, very grateful for how I met them, because I know outside of having one friend, when me and Matthew were close, it was like, yeah, I had other friends in Park Forest or like up the street, but finding other metalheads and musicians, especially going through that, your teens being a metalhead, and it's just like, oh, look at this motherfucker. You spend so much time feeling alone, and then so when you finally find other like-minded individuals who are also playing instruments, I wasn't right in the regard that I sometimes let my drinking get a little too much out of hand, and
I've been there.
Yeah, and I know they've seen it. I know they know it.
I feel like I'm still there sometimes, where I'm like, I still feel like I'm that drunk that's out of hand, even though I'm not drinking,
Yeah, and they each wanted to do their own thing, which I respect, and I'm very happy to see what they're doing now. But more or less, that's the type of inspiration that I try to draw from being in a bad place then, and sometimes I still struggle, with I can be in a bad place now, but you'll never know unless someone tells you.
Yeah. I mean, you can also, and this isn't like, anything against like Victor or Anthony saying like, oh, you can do it without them, but you were doing vocals on the Of the Dead EP, so it's like, even if you don't have like a musician to collaborate with, like exactly like at this very moment, like you could still like achieve stuff within music and accomplish a lot on your own.
And that's where I'm trying to get myself back to. Like I've messaged Anthony telling him, like, I've been rewinding my mental clock when it comes to music, because I the way I said it was, I went from really listening to music but just hearing people, and as I got older and started, I just started hitting the bottle, and I went from just hearing music to listening to people and their opinions and things like that. And when you take that, to bed with you at night, or when you're by yourself, and then me drinking and smoking, I've told you, I'm very honest with it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, damn, you gotta take this and drive yourself, like they're still your boys, but it got to the point where it's just like, man, they don't gotta say it. I already know it. It's like, man, if this one person can't get their shit together, you can't be a band.
Yeah, one person can really like tear it down, and that's usually what happens every time. There's always one person, and a lot of the times it's a member in a position that it's hard to fucking fill.
Yeah.
It just always happens for some reason. I think every project I've been a part of, there's always been just like one situation with one member, and not even it being a situation where that person sabotages it, but maybe they're just like, I can't do this because life is getting busier, I'm just not feeling it anymore. They leave, and it just throws everything off. Like, John, when he had left Divide, like this isn't anything I like held against him, but he like wasn't feeling it, didn't want to do it anymore. And then it just I feel like we never really recovered. Kyle, when he left Devil in the White City, I feel like there was never like a full recovery. Even when he got back in the band, I feel like just losing the member and like it killing like more that type of morale.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's like a breakup, you know, you go through a breakup and you get back together with the person. It doesn't always feel, you know,
Yeah.
right, you know. It's kind of just like that. The person leaves, things are said, and it's like things are weird for a little bit, you know. Oh, it's cool. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. And it's thank goodness, you know, for them as people, they're
Yeah.
good dudes. You know, they're good. They're just good guys. They're understanding.
Yeah.
You know, and it was funny because like how you said that, like why it has to be a member that would be a little challenging to replace because, you know, me and Vic we would talk and he'd be like, of course. He's like, of course, it's our vocalist and guitar player who's you know who struggle, and he would say that not like mocking me, you know. He just like this would be after like a session of talking, and he'd be like, oh, of course, always has to be a band member who's like good, and they just struggle with something.
Yeah. So what was it about drinking that was getting in the way?
It was fucking with my head a lot, you know, because I was doing vast amounts every night.
Yeah.
So the following
Was it
day,
just at night or throughout the whole
no,
day?
it was just that night. But what
Okay.
I clocked in that night, you know,
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, well, yeah, you're a big guy. Of course you can drink a lot." This is like, nah, dude, that don't matter.
Yeah.
After a while, this is just like a certain feeling I'm trying to achieve to forget.
It fucks with you mentally too.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking. I'm still a little fucked up in the head. Not like too bad, but I crumble a lot easier than I used to.
Yeah.
So like I'm a bit more fucked up. Not more fucked up. I'm fucked up in a different way than I was when I was drinking. But I mean that drinking does, it damages your brain, and it like, you know, really amplifies depression, and it gives
Man.
you anxiety. Like
Boy, does it.
yeah, I don't have near the anxiety I had when I was drinking, but I mean my depression's almost gotten worse since I've stopped drinking. But yeah, what were you saying? Sorry.
No.
You were saying it fucked with you mentally.
Yeah, it was fucking with me mentally, and it was putting so much. If mental torture was self harming without cutting yourself, I was cutting my brain up real bad, you know, and I felt my self worth diminishing. I felt my skill, you know, you just become unconfident, you know, and I became a very unconfident person.
The drinking does make you a worse player, not you specifically, but it made me a worse bassist. It's the fucking dehydration from the alcohol, man. Like your fingers are weaker, your wrists are weaker, you're just not that good. You're not as sharp. You're like fucking up parts. Like it's like frustrating how bad I was when I was drinking, and I like didn't understand it. I'm like, why do I suck so much at guitar and bass? And it's like now that I'm not drinking, I feel like I can play better, but I have to like work back up, and I'm kind of afraid to like pick up guitar and bass completely and like play in a band right now, because I'm like I gotta like work my chops back up. My fingers are really weak right now.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to like get there. I can't play songs that I wrote and recorded. You know, it's hard.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I agree.
Eventually I'll get there, but I'm focusing on other aspects of music right now, as opposed I got to get my chops back up. I'm procrastinating. I don't really have an excuse why I don't practice more.
And
like
you're a phenomenal bass player, bro.
I got to get better. I'm very sloppy right now since I haven't been playing for a while. My accuracy's bad and my timing's bad, but I'll get better. I'll get there. Just a little bit of practice.
That's why I made it a point to say earlier, like before I do anything, I got to get myself right. Like I already know, like I'm not gonna be able to do even a practice session if I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. It's just, man, there's I still have those struggles, dude. When it comes to, I've never had a problem looking at shit and facing it for what it is,
Yeah.
you know. But when I say I'm tired, I felt like it was a legitimate lifetime worth of seeing shit for like that.
Yeah.
And I was always someone who would try to make the best out of any bad situation.
Yeah.
That gets taxing.
It does. Yeah.
That gets tiring. I used to want to make sure I was there for everybody and anyone so they wouldn't feel alone, so they wouldn't feel how I felt, deep down inside. And once I started to get away from practicing guitar, which has always been, like I told your dad earlier, it's always been my expression. That's my therapy. That's my way of speaking.
Yeah.
When I heard Mike Smith of Suffocation say in the Roadrunner United DVD, like, man, I can go a month without talking, but if you listen to the way I play these drums and how I hit these drums, that's my way of talking. I was like, man, I get that. I totally get that. But once all that got swapped with, weed is not nowhere near as bad. It is alcohol. Alcohol is just,
Yeah. It's different from person to person, but alcohol is definitely a completely separate monster.
yeah. Oh yeah, man. And whew, it just, like, I can admit that I do sometimes, if not often, I try to drink to forget, and it doesn't have to be things from childhood or teen or anything. It could be shit from like 2 weeks ago or a month.
Yeah.
And I'll have that inner conflict and that inner monologue where it's, come on, dude, you don't really want to, you don't even have a taste for it.
Yeah.
And the other side is, yeah, but fuck those feelings, fuck how I'm feeling right now. This shit is just gonna be that. This is gonna get me to space a lot quicker than anything else.
It's a dependency.
Yeah.
You kind of need that state of mind. My situation with alcohol was I didn't need a reason to drink. Everybody has their own thing. Some people drink to like cope, or it might be for different like emotional reasons. They might drink because of anger. They might drink because of depression. My situation, alcohol felt very freeing to me. It kind of felt like it made me someone who I wanted to be. It made me feel a way that I always wanted to feel. And my big struggle with it was I never needed a... Oh, whoops.
Nice.
Just punched my microphone.
This is the host, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, sorry.
Keep that.
I'll leave. But I never needed a reason to drink at all. I just needed to drink in order. Drinking was my reason to do other stuff, basically.
Yeah, no,
like,
I agree.
I never needed a reason to drink. I had to drink in order to leave the house. Like, I fucking would wake up, open my eyes, and the moment my eyes see the ceiling, it's like I'm just riddled with anxiety. And no matter how sick I was, I would just be sick and be thinking, I can't wait till I feel better so I could start drinking. So it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
but
it's very
mine. I needed to find some kind of like purpose.
Yeah.
Or create purpose. And I feel like I'm still searching for some kind of purpose right now, but I really needed to find a deeper meaning. And I became more open-minded when I went to get sober. I tried new things. I've tried meditation. I tried like breath works. I've had like out-of-body experiences. People are gonna think I'm crazy. I've like astral projected. I've like felt like I've left this plane before, doing like breath works with like incense and sound baths and shit like that. It's fucking life changing almost. Like I woke up and just broke down crying in like a room full of other people, and it's like I didn't even feel like I was in a room with other people. I was somewhere else entirely.
Yeah.
I went to 2 separate locations. I can talk more about this off mic. It's a really like intimate story though. but it's like
I mean, I'm down to hear it, unless you want to talk about it off
it's
mic.
more of an off mic thing.
Okay.
I don't really want to share it publicly. It's a very personal experience. That probably makes me sound like a maniac, but it's like I don't know.
I don't think
I tried
so.
new things, you know.
Yeah.
Spirituality and like a higher
I mean, Aaron
power
Rodgers is the
wasn't
quarterback
working
of
for
the
me.
Jets, and he talks about that shit publicly on the Pat McAfee show. So
Yeah, I'm all about meditation and breath works. Like it works. And a lot of it's like oxygen deprivation too, a little bit, but still, you know, it works. But would you consider doing something like a rehab or like an outpatient treatment where you do groups and you do meditations like that?
I think about it from
'Cause
time
you
to
can
time.
do outpatient. I would recommend rehab. It, depending on where you go, it can be a very valuable, life-changing experience. I mean, of course, like if it gets you sober, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like the relationships you build and the things you go, like you want to go somewhere far away and you want to disconnect from everybody back home for a little bit, and you want to go without your phone, and you want to participate in the groups, and you want to be open and honest about everything and admit about how awful you were and like things that other people did to wrong you and resentments you have, and go to the therapies and really like participate and be there to help other people and allow yourself to be helped, and it's a very valuable experience. It would be valuable for someone that's not an alcoholic. It would be valuable for someone that just needs to get off their fucking phone and like develop some social skills. Or there are people that really need therapy and need to tap into some deeper shit that like this would really, I think, be beneficial to them for. But I don't know. Mental health isn't really valued on that kind of level. I know that's like it's beaten to death. Everybody's saying that, but it's like it is true if you really like look at it.
Yeah. Well, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness.
Oh shit.
And it's also Pride Month.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of gay men crying over there.
Oh shit.
I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, women, be nice to us then.
Oh no.
How about you open a door or two?
That would be the segue. They're like,
kidding.
oh, are you opening your feelings? What are you, gay? This month?
I didn't even know. I don't pay attention.
I don't really. I mean, each month can be something. People will still be shitty to each other.
At my job, we have to follow the months, like specifically, but since, I don't know, we just skipped this
See,
one.
your job, your job was like, oh, men's mental health awareness. We're done.
Yeah,
we're done
like,
here.
that.
We're done.
Well, I do work in a very women-dominated field, so.
Oh, there you go. They're like, fuck the patriarchy.
I'm a nurse. You could put that together.
So look at that. Look at that guy. He's such a misogynist.
Yeah, I probably do come off as a misogynist. When I'm at work, there are times I'm like, am I mansplaining this
You look more
shit?
like a masochist to me.
A masochist?
Yeah, you look like you get a lot of pleasure derivative of inflicting pain.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Not at all. No.
You look more like a tickle them with a feather than any of that shit. You said a select few.
A select few, yeah. No, I feel like I get along with most people.
No, I normally do. I've just
some people suck though. Some people don't deserve.
I'm not as
attention.
patient with people as I used to be. I think toleration. I can only tolerate a certain amount now, especially from humans. I used to be a very people persony.
Yeah.
And maybe I can blame excessive drinking or whatever, but no, even before that, I was just like, golly, there's you hate to say it, but I mean it's almost inevitable. Where it's like, yeah, there's beauty in the world. We just always see the ugly. That's what we have to remind ourselves. Oh, there's beauty out there. But why the fuck does everyone have to present the ugly all the fucking time?
Yeah,
it gets taxing and tiring.
It's weird.
I'm tired of cursing people out.
I'm someone who I recognize the beauty in things a lot, and I find a deep love in a lot of things on a moment-to-moment basis. But it's weird when I'm talking to people. I can find myself complaining, but I don't really mean it as much as it seems like I do. It's almost like it's easier just to complain to relate to people sometimes, but then I'm like, I'm exhausting myself. Why am I complaining so fucking much? But then when I'm alone, I'm appreciating so many things. You know, it's weird.
And it's so funny you say that because, like, I hate when I complain.
Me too.
Like, I physically...
I hate when you complain. No,
I wouldn't blame you.
I'm kidding. I hate when I complain too.
That was a good one, though. See, you're such a masochist. You're fucking pleasuring
Jesus.
yourself off of my unfortunate.
Yeah, I am jerking off right now.
I know,
yeah.
Ladies, it's huge. But, no, I just... Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That was funny. What was it?
Fuck. What were we talking? I could pause and we can listen back.
No. We'll get right into. Oh no, patience with people and toleration and things like that. Yeah, and people being shitty. Or I find myself that I used to always, fight with love and yada 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 and everything. I still believe in peace, still believe in happiness. I'm not pessimistic or cynical. I try my best not to be. I appreciate things. I have gratitude. It's just I can't tolerate shit, especially in this. Man, I feel like I want to sound like an old asshole or something, but it's like we live in this time of no shame.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I'm not trying to shame people. I'm just trying to say, go do that shit somewhere else. I ain't trying to fucking... Ooh, there's just been many instances,
What do you mean?
You remember the put him in a coffin guy? Do you ever remember that shit? He's a guy who used to go into stores and he used to just fall back on shit like he was in a coffin, knock things over, and then they'd all run out.
That sounds familiar. I've seen videos like that.
Shit like that sucks, but I've met that guy.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to. I just
Is he
did.
a good guy?
No, he was a complete...
Where did you meet him?
At the Glass Tap in Stager.
What's the story? So
this was a while ago.
Story time.
Yeah, this was a while ago. Gather round, kids. Gather round. 2 more days till Halloween. That's how it feels.
That first voice you did, that was pretty good.
What the gather round, children, gather round.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I could see that being a character.
I can definitely do other ones, but it's not why we're here.
Consider voice acting.
You know what? I think that now more than I've ever thought in my life, especially
why not?
The video game chats.
I mean, I have this shit here if you want to put together a resume. Create some characters around the voices you have, and we'll put together a resume.
Even Joe.
We'll create you an account on, like, Mandy and see if you can get some jobs.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Joe, hey, all right.
Yeah,
gives something to look forward to.
Take some of your voices and build characters around them, and like write like a scene with all your characters, and then we'll just record it and create like a little demo for you.
No shit. Hey, all right. That's something to actually think about.
I mean, if you take it seriously, I'll take it seriously. So yeah.
It's funny because Joe Calabria, he's in when we normally play Helldivers at Call of Duty or whatever. He's more of a Call of Duty because he sucks at Helldivers, even though he sucks at COD. He just bitches in the mic all the time. Shout out to Joe.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
I will rip you in the lobby and in person than I will on this podcast.
You said he bitches in the mic a lot.
Oh yeah,
that's he will admit to that. I'm sure that's very
it's very
in
Joe
character.
But he brought up.
This is the second episode in a row
where Joe Calabria gets shouted out. I know, it's just like very tall. He's very sloppy.
Joe. This isn't my doing. At least
I love the dude. I love me and him. Got a lot of. We got our inside jokes. That's for sure.
I'm just never gonna have him on, but he's always gonna be referenced.
Yeah, he's only referenced. He's never gonna be on the show.
He's gonna be like Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be like on a smaller scale. My Matt Damon. That's appropriate. He has a Matt Damon kind of vibe.
But
what are you saying?
Joe would always be like, dude, how do you do all these fucking voices, man? Like, fucking Shorty, man. Leave it to a fucking Mexican.
Oh my God.
Does that not sound like him?
That sounds just like him. It's like, so the voice isn't like exactly there, but you have his like inflection and cadence. It's so good. That's good.
Nick, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that yeah, dude, what the fuck?
So we'd be on the mic,
Why did it take an hour and 9 minutes to fucking
why didn't you start?
Get to that reveal? This should have been
because I'm cutting everything.
I should have put an episode out saying discussion with Joe Calabria. I just not said anything and just did the whole thing that way.
You just ask him if you can use his photo on your fucking the YouTube screen, whatever.
Yeah.
What's thumbnail? There you go, Jesus. But
oh man. Okay, keep going.
I always
My face hurts.
I always talk the most in that because I'm typically stoned, might have a couple in me, and I just say dumb shit.
Yeah.
So we're in the chat, and fucking he's just like, oh man, that fucking ending scene of Homeward Bound just always fucking cuts me up, dude. And you know Homeward Bound, right? The dogs, the two dogs and the cat. And Joe's just like, are you still familiar with like how they sounded or no?
No, I haven't seen that in a long
So Joe started
time.
busting nuts because we're laughing. I was like, what was the cat's name? He's like, oh, it's Sassy. And I was like, what's the other dog's name? And he's like, Chance. And I was like, damn, there was another dog. I think Shadow. Yeah, his name's Shadow. He's the old dog. He was the old golden retriever that kept the whole group together because he wanted to see Peter, the eldest son. So...
Damn,
again,
you know this movie.
Bro, this conversation is fresh because all this happened within 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I know, and he sent me clips like for a week of the Homeward Bound
this makes
because of
more
the
sense.
voice.
I was like, why do you know this movie
Yeah.
so well?
And they all, here
why
comes
does Joe know this movie
Yeah.
so well?
Here comes Shadow up the fucking hill, it's this whole moment. But he talks, oh, Peter. Oh, how I've missed you so. Joe was just fucking, oh my fucking, this fucking loud ass laugh. And he's just like, how are you not a fucking voice actor? Because I did Billy Corgan one night.
Joe has to be one of your characters
absolutely.
that you create.
And we just call him the fucking hardcore Italian who can't play guitar.
He should be the main character of what you do.
Oh, yeah. Right, nail, just perfect his voice.
Yeah.
But with Billy Corgan, one time we were playing, and I'm not even over here trying to pitch myself as a voice actor. I did not see any of this coming.
No, it's perfect.
So, I would always just sing songs, just randomly they're playing like, oh shit, I got killed. I'm falling even more in love. That's just me. I'm just in the background.
Oh, was that your
That
foot?
was my foot,
like,
my
what the
bad.
fuck?
I
Is
started
there a
tapping.
rabbit in
I
here?
hear Lifehouse, bro. I get alive. But I'm doing that, and then I just switched to the world is a vampire, and he's just like, oh, that kind of sounds. I was like, no, not really. And I was just like, set the drain, secret destroyer.
That's good.
And he's over here busting nuts, and again, I'm just like, I don't hear it.
I hear it.
I don't. Maybe it's because it's my ears. It comes
Yeah,
from my mouth.
it sounds different in your head, definitely. You'll hear it on mic, though. You'll get to hear a good recording of yourself.
Because when I did do those 2 episodes of the man, I don't even remember the name of the podcast me and Jeremy did. He's probably gonna hear this and be like, you motherfucker. Oh, whatever. No offense to him. I know he's gonna hear that and be like, you don't even remember the name of that. I do not.
It happens.
I did American soldiers, Mexican soldiers, black soldiers, and Japanese people, and one of the main voices was a Japanese general.
I feel like I remember this now. Yeah.
Because we did original music and shit like that. It was all original shit.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely fucking ridiculous because there's like zombies on board a submarine essentially that can get mind controlled. But the Japanese guy, it was fun to do that voice. It's fun to do this voice because, I mean, just give me a sentence you want me to say.
Oh, say, I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same.
Okay, that's a lot, sir.
I'm quoting Thanos from Infinity
Just give me like the first half.
I know what it's like to lose.
And what was the other sentence?
Jesus, I already fucking forgot it.
I know what it's like to lose.
I know what it's like to lose, to believe so desperately that you're right.
To believe so desperately. I know what it's like to lose when I forget the next fucking line you just said.
That's good. That's good though. Man, yeah, you gotta create some characters, and we'll do like a South Park style, like
And that's Okay, see, that's where a lot of it comes from because
Is South Park.
that's my favorite show, man.
I mean, so would you do more comedy or would you? Because I like instantly lean towards comedy, but would you do? What would your idea if you were to pitch like a show? What would the tone?
See, welcome to my
be?
brain where I'm like, I don't know if I should do voice acting, comedic stuff, music.
What's a tone that comes? Well, the Joe character would probably have to be comedic, I'd assume, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Just knock off Jeff Dunham and do a fucking fat ass Italian softball playing doll puppet or whatever.
I haven't seen what is it called? Big Mouth.
You never seen Big Mouth?
I haven't seen Big Mouth.
I
but
enjoy it. I like Nick Kroll.
I like a lot of people involved with that. Jason Mantzoukas is like, I'm a big fan of Jason
fist bump there.
Mantzoukas.
I'm a big Jason Mantzoukas
Hell
fan.
yeah.
Did you ever see his work in The League? The show The League?
Yeah, The League. I saw him live with How Did This Get Made. I'm a big Jason Mantzoukas fan. I love when he pops up in like Parks and Rec and he's in The Good Place.
Well, his voice work in Big Mouth.
He's in John Wick Chapter 3.
See, oh man, you're gonna be like, what? I've only seen John Wick 1. I have not seen.
At least you saw the best one.
I loved it.
You should give him a shot. I assume it's not like you're.
I hold nothing against it.
I assume it just
it.
hasn't happened yet. Like I doubt you were like, I saw the first one and turned on those movies.
Yeah, no, I loved it.
Which so you'll eventually watch them. Well, I'll have to get you. I'll have to get you and Jeff on for a whole John Wick thing because I turned Jeff on to John Wick right before I moved to Arizona. I bought him 1 through 3.
Okay.
And then I think he saw 4 in the theaters. So I should get, if you watch John Wick 1 through 4, I'll see if I can get both of you on and we can have like a all John Wick since, it'll go like, I've been there since I saw them all in theaters except for the first one. Like Jeff will be like not as recent fan and then you'll be like the recent fan and we can kind of like pick apart John Wick or like talk about it. Just see
That's fine with
our
me.
takeaways.
That's
yeah,
fine. I can always talk Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
I can watch him in Point Break any day.
Have you seen Knock Knock?
I have not.
I haven't either. I heard it sucks, but I want to check it out just because of the audacity of some of the things I heard happen in it.
No shit. The most recent movie I watched was The First Omen. The First Omen was the most recent one that I watched.
What do you think of that?
I enjoyed it.
That birthing scene.
I loved it.
That was pretty crazy. I was
loved
like,
it.
how did they do that?
I like when she did her little interpretive dance in front of the church and started, salivating everywhere.
Yeah.
Mucus and whatever. It looked like semen for the greater part. I was like, Jesus.
Man. Spoilers for The First Omen, but.
I know. I was like, wow, the devil really dropped one in her because she got pregnant.
And what do you think about the ending? We're going to spoil the ending probably, so I don't know.
First of all, it's called The First Omen, so if you can't predict what the ending might be, either you really don't know the series.
Also, we're not talking about The First Omen.
Yeah, we're talking about the
First
film,
Omen.
The First Omen.
Yeah.
With Joe Calabria.
Yeah. It's got the fucking dude from The Witch in it.
Yes,
I love
and
seeing him pop
he's
up
such a
and
good
shit.
actor.
Yeah. Have you seen The Green Knight?
No.
He plays the Green Knight.
Okay, I gotta watch
check
that.
it out.
I love
Dev
his
Patel's
voice.
in it.
He has a fucking deep, raspy.
It's scary.
Yeah.
He's got a scary voice.
Yeah.
I feel like we've fallen off of so many different
Oh,
topics.
yeah, we've just been
I'm
just
down
been
to
talking.
keep plowing through.
I'm down
if
to
you're
keep.
fine with plowing through. I have that same Halloween 3 shirt that you have. I have it hanging up right there. What are your thoughts on Halloween 3?
My thoughts on you want to go there? Okay, my thoughts on Halloween 3. It is possibly the most underappreciated sequel in the franchise.
Doug would really agree with you on that. I have to rewatch it. I have no problems with Halloween 3. Halloween 3 is welcome in my home.
When you were John Carpenter and Deborah Hill in that time frame, I completely understand why you would try to turn Halloween into an anthology series. It's like, all right, we finished Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You can finish it there. Now, this third film, now to piggyback, I used to watch so many John Carpenter documentaries on the Halloween DVDs because every rendition that would come out, I would always have like a new, more modern behind the scenes documentary or whatever. And I remember hearing him say like he didn't want to make, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers be siblings or things like that. He kind of wanted him to just still be like this mystified shape, this being.
Yeah, and like maybe he wanted Laurie because she reminded him of like his sister or something.
Yeah.
Like just make it like more of a question mark of
Yeah.
like, why did this terror do what he did in our
Yeah.
suburban neighborhood?
Yeah.
This psycho came to our home, you know?
He was just an anonymous being. They didn't know him. There was a brief little lore of him, like if it was Michael Myers, that's the guy who killed his sister. But it could have ended there. But I do love Halloween 2. I think that's a very good sequel. The hospital scenes and shots are still very eerie to this day. But that's besides the point, because I just love the Halloween franchise. Clearly, I'm wearing a shirt. But Halloween 3,
Yeah.
I'll plow through that. Halloween 3.
You don't have to.
No,
you got somewhere to be.
No. I like that this question that this came up because when
No, saying you don't have to plow through it. Like you can take your time if you got a lot to say about Halloween 3.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about I was rambling about the first two movies,
Oh.
but Halloween 3. So when I first seen it as a kid, I did not appreciate it at all. I mean,
Yeah.
you see Halloween 1 and 2, and then you're like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, what was this about? Then I watched it again when I was like 15, 16. I was like, this is solid.
You're almost like you're told growing up that Season of the Witch is a bad movie almost. Like growing up, everyone's like Halloween 3, that one sucks because Michael's not even in it. That's what I always heard. It sucks because Michael's not even in it. I mean, from a fucking storytelling perspective, like that's a pretty like shitty way to analyze something, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like it's not a Michael Myers story. Like fucking get past it and like try and judge it on like its own merits. Stop judging it on what it's not.
Yeah, it's another unfortunate instance of potential murder on Halloween night. Yeah, and definitely in a far more grander scale than I appreciate. I mean, had Colonel Cochran, had he got that evil scheme off, I mean, you're going down in history books. Granted, this is fiction, but if you were able to kill kids or adults or teenagers like that, I mean, it was menacing with the whole monolith thing. Like the idea was just. You could tell he just came off of doing fucking The Thing, because it's just like whoa.
Well, Carpenter didn't direct that one. He just produced 2 and 3. I think he wrote 2. He might have written 3 too. He didn't direct those ones though.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a different director. Have you? So there's a podcast called Blank Check. They did a mini series on John Carpenter. They covered all of his movies. Their Halloween episode, it's 3 hours long. You should check it out. You should check out the whole miniseries. It's some of the best, like, just hours and hours of, like, great content on John Carpenter. But they go into, like, all the detail on his involvement with Halloween. How, like, at 3, he just, like, stopped. He's like, it's just not his thing anymore. Outside of, like, them paying him to use a score and, like, I'm sure he gets like executive producer credits on maybe he doesn't. I don't know how the rights work. He's a dude they've kind of like screwed over in the industry all the time.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, The Thing, even though it's like beloved now, like people hated that movie when it came out. But yeah, sorry to go on like that.
No. One of the things I want to.
But he was involved in those 2 movies. He just didn't direct them.
Well, they're still fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to direct them. It was just like an arm twist thing where he was like, okay, I'll give you a second one. But he was like, then let me do my anthology thing. And then he got that. And they're like, we're going back to Michael with or without you. And they went without him.
I mean, and to me, I mean, I do appreciate Halloween 4. It has one of the most beautiful opening shots for like a horror movie. You're seeing the farmland and you just have that your music and the wind blowing. It's a very Midwestern-esque fall depiction that I appreciate when I watch that movie.
You're saying all this and I'm surprised you don't like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. You've said a lot that would make me believe that you would like that. How do you feel about that hospital scene at the intro?
Oh,
that's
I
fucking
mean,
like brutal.
No,
the violence is relentless in that one.
That was good. Once the film picked up after that, first of all, all I had to do was see his wife with a white horse, and I was just like, Jesus. fucking Christ. Like,
I don't want to reiterate too much of what happens in mine and Doug's conversation, but I'm really, really interested to hear what you think about that. That episode will be out in like 2 or 3 weeks.
okay.
Yeah, I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts on that.
And with this question, I also have to really recall Halloween too, because when I say I was disgusted with it, I was absolutely disgusted.
A lot of people hated it.
I went to the midnight
understandably
release
so.
of it. A midnight release at Marcus. That's where I met Sean. Shout out Sean Carney.
At Rob Zombie's Halloween
into
too.
midnight because he was with Romero Mendoza, and obviously I knew him
Yeah.
before. I knew him, so we met through a friend. Whatever. That's the only good that came out of it was I met that guy.
Yeah.
And
and Rob Zombie made some money too.
Yeah. Oh, that he did.
Yeah.
He
He needs to be paid.
You know what's crazy is I snuck in the back entrance and went into the movie. I had one of them open the door.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I did that. And when the movie was over, I took Romero's ticket stub and I got a refund.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you do that? What did you tell him?
I just told him the movie was bad and it was a waste of my time and I got to get up for work in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, and they gave you a refund.
Yeah, they gave me a refund.
I've wondered that before. Because there have been movies I fucking hated, and I've been like, I wonder if I could get like a movie voucher.
Dude.
But I've never tried it. Anytime I've gotten a movie voucher, it was for like an issue the theater had. Like, I saw Justice League, the Joss Whedon version, and I didn't realize this until the credits. This is just how distractingly awful this fucking movie is.
Oh, the movie's terrible.
Yeah, it's dog shit. It's a fucking bowl of farts.
They had the nerve to fucking put all that slow motion and just torture you.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And that Wonder Woman theme.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved seeing Gal Gadot on the screen, but that theme was just...
I don't mind it when it's being used in the Zack Snyder movies. It's weird. But I've only seen the Justice League with Joss Whedon this one time. But I don't care to ever revisit it. It'll never be a thing I watch again. The credits were projecting. This is how I noticed there was a projection issue. The credits were projecting down onto the ground, lower than the movie screen, and I was like, "Oh, the movie wasn't projecting right the whole time." And then as we were walking out, they were handing out vouchers. So
oh shit,
it's been issues like that. Those are the only times I've gotten like free movie passes for anything.
I think that was the only time I was 19 then. I as a even teenager or adult, that's the one and only time I got a refund for a movie, and it so happens because when I said I'm a huge Halloween fan. I'm a huge Halloween fan.
Never mind. Rob Zombie didn't get your money.
No, he didn't.
You snuck in
I
got
a refund.
So he lost money by you being there.
Bro, like I look back at it and I was like, you're being a little petty, and I'm just like, man, fuck that, bro.
Hey,
that's my dude.
You know what? Those movies were produced by the Weinsteins, so I support your decision.
Oh, you know the Jews control show business.
Well, I mean, they're rapists, though.
That's shit.
Not their ethnicity.
Not their religious or cultural.
No, they're rapists. But no, yeah, I knew that.
Oh yeah, you didn't want me to go on anti-Semitic tangents. You said that on the right over here.
Yeah, I did. I was like, just
but
make
can
sure.
Joe say anti-Semitic
be
tangents?
as racist, but you're Mexican, so you're allowed to.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No,
my ex-girlfriend was Jewish, so of course I don't like them.
It's jeez. That caught me off guard. That really did.
But no, okay. So with Halloween 2, I think that was one of the first films I took to heart.
Yeah.
Like
you felt offended.
I was fucking offended, bro.
You threw away your Hellbilly Deluxe album,
bro.
After that,
I couldn't even look at White Horses the same.
Jesus.
I was just like, no, get it away from me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna pull this trolley.
You're like, and this dude had the audacity to put out an album called Educated Horses.
Yeah, for real.
Now he's putting them in his fucking Halloween movie.
And dude, it just. Does your wife have to be in everything?
I think his answer would be yes.
Yes. Oh, of course. Him, it would be yes. Her, she'd be like, hey, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have a job. So it's just like.
You know, Doug did put it a good way, though, when we were watching it. He really turned me around on some of this stuff. I'm going to be getting some of it wrong, but he was just like, I love that Rob Zombie just loves his wife. You know, it's like you love a wife, man. You know, he probably thinks the world of her. He's like, I want the world to see my wife's tits on screen. You know, 'cause she's like naked and fucking
Yeah.
Halloween. I don't remember any of the other movies she's in.
Bro, let's just be honest here with that statement. I'm sure he loves his wife. I would love my wife that much too
Yeah.
if she was bringing me extra income with these movies. Like I've met women who are like, oh, I just like Sherry Moon Zombie. I just want to see her in it. Cool.
Yeah.
I respect that. Don't get me wrong. But I can also look at a piece of shit in a bag and say, that's a piece of shit in a bag. And, you know, if you light it on fire, it's going to be worse. And what does she do? She gets fucking lit on fire, especially in that movie. And I'm like,
that's brutal.
this is hot dog shit right here. I'm not stepping on it.
What did she do? Did she?
To me personally, nothing.
Oh,
but
no,
after that movie, everything. I think that's where my alcoholism kicked off.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. What was her career before Rob Zombie movies?
Probably
was she like
bad
a model
stripping.
or like porn or something? Not to assume.
Yeah,
that.
no, that's actually a good question.
It's mostly her name that makes me feel like she had something. That sounds like a stage name. So
Sherry
she had
Moon?
to do some kind of like performance. That sounds like a screen name or a stage name. Sherry Moon.
I don't know, dude. I mean, wasn't she with him even around like the White Zombie time?
Possibly. I mean, she could just be a fucking groovy chick. That
Yeah. I
maybe
don't.
he just fucking loves his
Yeah,
wife.
I was gonna
and
say
you
I
gotta
don't judge
respect
her
it.
off
I
of
don't
the
judge her
films.
either.
You know, off of the
Everything
movies.
I'm saying, I'm joking
Yeah.
too, of course.
Oh, I'm not though.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I,
To a degree.
no, I mean like
Her acting, I will.
acting criticisms, yeah, but like any like jokes about like personality.
I found her to be a lot better in The Devil's Rejects. She was more palatable in The Devil's Rejects.
I haven't seen that movie in years. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of The Devil's Rejects. I've never seen House of a Thousand Corpses.
I've seen House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. Still need to watch 3 from Hell. It's just I have little to no.
I bought a whole Rob Zombie box set when Doug and I did that commentary. It came with all of his movies for $15. Everything except for the Munsters.
If that price doesn't tell you about his wife acting capabilities.
Oh jeez. That was a good deal though. I was like one of the Halloween movies I probably would have accepted 15 for, even though I own them in the Halloween box set that I have in
Dude, I went to Dis Replay not too long ago. Shout out to Dis Replay.
Hell yeah, I love that place.
I mean, picked up, was it Halloween? Oh, this is going to be fun. What? I picked up the 2018 Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and I was going to get into that.
Doug?
I bought all 3 of those Blu-ray and 4Ks.
Yeah.
$10.
Nice. Doug loves Halloween Ends. I feel like I was telling him, I'm like, we gotta have Shorty on for like an Oops All Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Either that or we have Doug on here.
October's coming up.
Let's do it.
I pitch for the month of October if we did 1 episode a week, deriving 2 or 3 movies. Or set up a camera. You dress up as Sherry Moon in Halloween 2. I'll be Rob Zombie. He can be Michael Myers from Halloween 2018. Let me just jerk
Wait,
off.
Jesus. Who was Sherry Moon Zombie?
You were Sherry Moon from Rob Zombie's Halloween.
I like zoned out for a second. Was she the Living Dead girl?
Yes.
And she was the Living Dead girl in Rob Zombie's Halloween too.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I put that together.
But that song is better than that whole movie.
I love that song, man.
Yeah, that 3-4 minutes. Bro, I have such a disdain. I have such a disdain for that movie, bro.
I challenge you to revisit it.
I tried within the past year.
I challenge you to succeed.
I will do it. If we do this Halloween episode with your buddy Doug, or when we do it, if we schedule it, I'll do it.
Honestly, like, because the podcast with me and Doug, I don't know what it looks like in October since we're new. Our format could completely change, but I am open to committing to maybe like once a week on like this feed if you wanted to come over, even Doug too, if he's available, just have it you and me or a third person at any point, and once a week just do a unload on our Halloween movie watch.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, and we could try to like, have some movies like intersect. We could, make it to where it's like whatever's in our Halloween movie watch, let's include 2 Halloween like 2
Okay.
like Michael Myers Halloween movies in there. We could
I
do
fuck with
something
that.
like that.
No, I
Like
fuck
have
with
fun
that
with
heavy,
it.
dude.
And like have like a weekly like Halloween recap.
Trust me, whenever you're like, hey, do you want to do an episode? Odds are I would want to do it. I don't do nothing like this.
Yeah.
I like it. This is really cool.
Well, I want more like a group of people for like spontaneous episodes too, where it's like, someone where I could be like, I'm fucking bored. Let me hit up someone and be like, hey, someone who could be here in like an hour and be like, hey, you want a podcast?
I think we're doing that now because this has been we've been just talking about so much different stuff.
And it's flowing very well, and
it's fun because first of all, we've known each other for a while, and it's not like we're speaking to not have a break in the conversation. It's just we have a lot of things that we like, similarities or whatever, but for the most part, we have a lot of thoughts on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I wanted to touch on, and now we're gonna get there.
Okay.
So Halloween 2, I promise I'll watch.
Wait, real quick. All right, what's up? Sorry, we had to take a momentary break.
Yeah, just a little 2-minute break.
Yeah, we'll put 2 minutes. Well, that's where the Bizios ad will go.
I know.
But so what were you about to say before we took our little break?
I think I was saying, from what I remember, I will watch Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's. Granted, it has been 15 years since I've seen it because I struggled with it a few months ago. I'll sit and watch it. But to piggyback on Halloween 3, there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. You asked me where did I view it as like a sequel or how do I fare with it, and I said, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So with that being an anthology, right, and one of the biggest gripes people had was, it's not really a Halloween film because Michael Myers isn't in it, or that's one of the least enjoyable things about it, or the most unenjoyable thing about it is that Michael Myers isn't in it. Let's talk about the new trilogy that just got done.
Okay. Nice. I'm excited. I didn't know what you were going to say.
You got what you wanted with Halloween Ends because you griped about Halloween 3, made an anthology. So Halloween 3, which completely uses the font, music, and tone of... Halloween Ends uses the font, music, and tone of Halloween 3. There's so much similarities.
Wait, you're saying I griped about Halloween 3?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
I might have said something that I didn't catch.
Okay.
I am just a little bit on the
oh no, it's cool.
Benjamin side.
Yeah.
But either way, those who didn't like Halloween 3 because it ended up making it an anthology, didn't have Michael Myers. Then we get Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is supposed to be obviously the grand finale. Laurie and Michael are gonna face off.
Yeah.
Her character was wasted in Halloween Kills. She was just in the bed. I still enjoy Halloween Kills, but the Laurie and Michael dynamic wasn't really there. And at that point, that was pretty much the last remaining of a Donald Pleasance, Michael Myers. Dr. Loomis, Michael Myers type.
There's still
combatant.
There's still value to be had in like Halloween Kills. I haven't seen it more than once. Same with Halloween Ends, but I think you could find something to appreciate. Michael Myers is in it. There's got to be some.
Oh no, I'm not.
Resurrection has things that I'll revisit Resurrection just because it is so bad and so like ridiculous, but it takes me back to like being as a kid. I knew going into it, okay, Resurrection is the bad one, but it's ridiculous and it's like kind of funny.
It's a fun film.
Yeah,
it's a fun bad horror movie. Which most of the times when horror movies are bad,
it's goofy.
There's still some sort of joy you get out of a bad horror movie.
It feels like it knows it's funny, but it doesn't. I don't know if that was the intention.
It thinks it's not taking itself too serious, but it kind of is, and it's fallen, and it's even more like.
It's hard to tell. I would like to watch a making of that movie specifically.
I will always say this about Halloween Resurrection because I know it gets a lot of shit, deservingly so. But that movie came out in 2002, 2003. And what they did utilizing POV cameras, live streaming, things like that, dude, that was 20 years ago. And that's what kind of made the movie to me a lot better was you're finally doing a film of Halloween that's now just in the house.
Yeah, it had the vibe of the Even Stevens movie a lot. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, the Even Stevens movie?
Yeah.
No, only the show.
Great movie, masterpiece, 5 out of 5.
Oh, I bet. It's got Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid, but go on.
I just appreciate what they utilized because, I mean, you go 20 years in the future and everyone's fucking live streaming or doing something of the sort, you know, or investigating haunted places with that same dynamic. Obviously, there's a lot you can say about that film in a negative sense, but I'm not going to touch base on that. That was the highlight I wanted to put on Resurrection. To jump back to my initial point was
about the David Gordon Green Halloween movies.
Halloween Ends. But people were like, well, that wasn't Michael Myers. That was Cunningham. I forget his name. Corey Cunningham.
Yeah.
You know, who now to me is the essence of evil. He's the embodiment of evil. He, you know, his eyes are turning black. He doesn't look like he's there no more. He's reminiscent of Michael Myers. But you're upset that it's not Michael Myers in the outfit, like he got bested or he just beat him up, you know, in the sewer. I'm still like, yo, this movie ain't bad for what it is. First of all, I enjoyed the movie. I really like the movie.
Yeah.
I like it more than Halloween Kills, and I like that trilogy a lot.
Dude, I saw it in theaters. I don't remember Halloween Ends, like my experience with it as much. I don't know why. Well, I was drinking. Yeah, that's why. But I remember at a certain point, I think it was like 45 minutes in, it clicked with me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching a Halloween movie right now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Michael, and I was just like, fuck. I like genuinely like had the realization like, oh fuck, I'm watching a Halloween movie right now, which it wasn't. I mean, if that's their intention, it worked. That's a movie where I would like to hear from David Gordon Green. Like, what were you going for? What was your goal, and do you feel like you achieved it? Like, I'm really curious. That's a fascinating series of Halloween films.
Yeah.
In the way that I find like the Rob Zombie ones making sense more now, I wonder if years later I'm going to find the David Gordon Green ones making sense. I should rewatch them very soon, actually.
Yeah, they're good.
But
I mean, again, there's one thing about having a bias of just being as a franchise for Halloween. I'm going to find a reason to like something in the movie. But this is different when you actually like the movie. I'm not trying to find something. Halloween Resurrection is a bad movie. Yeah. Halloween 6, there's a lot I like about it, but still not that good of a movie. Or The Curse of Michael Myers, I should say. But with Halloween...
That one, I saw that in October, not that long ago. It was just playing on TV, and I was like, yeah, not a bad movie. I had a good one. That's the one where his niece is at the top of the stairs in like the clown outfit at the end of it.
No, that is Halloween 4.
Oh, Halloween 4. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that gets a lot of shit, but I'm like,
that's the Daniel Harris little arc.
It was a good one.
Jamie Lloyd.
I like it. You know, good movie.
Oh, I enjoyed Halloween 4. I think I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I love the aesthetic of the beginning of the movie. It's that Midwest farm.
Yeah.
It just looked really cool. But with Halloween Ends, I think the thing I took for it, maybe I think too deep into it, was with Corey Cunningham. You saw his descent into the shape and his reasoning and things like that and what he's gone through. And now all of a sudden he's a town pariah. He's like synonymous with Halloween because Jamie Lee Curtis explains it, like ever since the Michael Myers situation, people have been afraid. Some people killed themselves. There's like this deep-rooted fear, and that's kind of how you exist. Like a boogeyman can only exist if you're afraid, if there's still fear. And lo and behold, this motherfucker is still underneath the overpass in a sewer thing, which would make sense. I mean, look at Halloween 2. He was like a bum. He was like a drifter. No offense to him. Over here, he's like, damn, I got my ass whooped in the end of Halloween Kills. I'm hunkered down. I looked into this guy's kids and saw, I guess, all his pain turned into anger and evil, you know?
Yeah. Now, these David Gordon Green ones, what I'm finding, or what I found rewatching the Rob Zombie ones, is Rob Zombie did a lot of this stuff in Halloween 2 already.
But the thing is, there was no fucking white horses and bad acting wives in these movies. So you can overlook certain things.
Fair enough.
Okay, and another thing I will say this about Halloween 2. One of my biggest gripes in seeing it in the theater with the full sound, Scout Taylor Compton screamed so fucking much in that movie. It was unbearable to me at times.
Oh, is that who
As
plays
Laurie? She's
Man,
the main.
So what are your thoughts on this? Doug disagreed with me. I think the worst part about those two movies is her. I thought she had an unmemorable Laurie. Just not
I liked
likable,
her
not.
in Wicked Little Things. That was one of those.
But I'm talking about like just
Yeah,
those movies.
those
You can
movies-
disagree with me. Doug fully disagreed with me. He thought she was great in those.
Oh,
and
great? No, I'm not gonna say great. No,
Yeah,
that's like me saying, "Oh, bless your heart, sweetie." Like, no,
Yeah.
I
the
ain't.
special needs, like
Yeah,
pat on the back.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that great. I liked her, more so didn't mind her in Halloween 2007, the first one.
Yeah. Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah,
Please, let's give him the credit.
Rob Zombie's Halloween. I even preferred his wife in that movie.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot more. On
It's
this
like, oh, look at
rewatch.
this, a character with substance instead of fucking ethromythology or whatever the fuck you're supposed to mean. Or
Yeah.
I digress. But her performance in there, out of both films, I wouldn't really be like, yeah, this is praiseworthy. Again, I just said she screamed so fucking much in the second one.
You
I found
don't
it to be
think
unbearable.
she should
as
have got an
novel.
Oscar nomination?
No. Oh God, no. What are those? A Razzie Award or
Oh, yeah.
whatever? You know.
Man.
But see, on the other side of the coin, I love Danielle Harris. I've always had a crush on Danielle Harris. But even I got annoyed with her in the second film.
Yeah, which one is she? Is she the one
She
from
was
the first
Brackett's
Halloween?
daughter. Yeah, she was Brackett's daughter.
Yeah.
Sheriff Brackett's daughter.
Yeah, I didn't know her name, but yeah. I know what you mean. I feel like she should have played Laurie.
I would have preferred that. I
Yeah.
would have preferred if, well, since she was Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4 and 5, she portrayed her as a little girl. If you brought her back, it would have been cool. It would have been really cool if they picked up where Halloween 6 kills her in the beginning and cursed Michael Myers or her character and just has her kid, which, then they retcon that. But that, all right, if they would have picked that arc back up, that would have been cool. Like, this is Jamie Lloyd X amount of years later after the fucking jailbreak shootout at the end of Halloween 5.
Jeez, I
But
don't
they
even
tried touching
remember
that on Halloween Curse. Either way, I wouldn't say her performances were great, but I wouldn't say they were, like, poor. There were definitely scenes that were better than others. Like, again, her screaming was just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I found it to be, like,
It's too much.
yeah.
It's a lot.
I like-
a lot for one movie.
Yeah, and I liked her ending in Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one, when
Me too.
Yeah.
It was very good. And then the cut to the home footage over the credits with the Halloween theme. It's so perfect. It's a very good ending. Yeah.
I
on
think,
board.
because I know some people were like, man, they made Rob Zombie, in Rob Zombie's Halloween, Michael Myers was like some redneck hillbilly fucking butt fuck your sister behind an alley type character. And I love a lot of the dialogue. Like, I still say I'll
Wait,
pork
who
my...
is that?
Huh?
Which character?
Oh, no, I just said some people's opinions. Well, man,
Oh.
Michael Myers' backstory, he's just some redneck trailer trash cousin butt fucking in the dirt, face down.
Well, he is
type
from
of-
Illinois. So.
That explains a lot. Southern Illinois, shit.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
country as
People
shit.
haven't been
If
here.
it weren't for Cook County, this is a red state.
yeah.
I always say that. It's not like I'm over here. I don't give a fuck about politics, but
Well,
just
it's
think about
just
it.
Chicago.
yeah, think about it. Yeah, you get 4 million votes in one
We're like
little.
mostly country. I feel like
Yeah.
over in Illinois.
Oh, yeah. But fuck, goddamn, lose my train of thought. Damn, Benjamin.
Do you want to go back to Halloween Ends,
I
or did
could
you
go back
finish
there.
what you were talking about?
Oh no, well, I didn't care for her performances and like totality. I thought she was an okay Laurie. She did enough at the time, but it didn't age. She didn't age well.
Yeah, I'm gonna still go with what I said with Doug, and I'm gonna say she's bad, and I don't like her in those movies. But I don't know. Maybe I hate women. Maybe I'm the problem.
I did say you're a masochist,
Yeah.
misogynist. Usually pound their face in the dirt.
Maybe
But
I'm the problem. I do see the Captain Marvel movies though, so I
You
don't
are
know.
a better man than me.
I just
I'm
see
just
the
kidding.
Captain Marvels.
I've seen the first Captain Marvel. I didn't see the Marvels. I did watch.
I like the Marvels.
I watched Miss
genuinely
Marvel,
like
the show, the
I like
series.
that too.
I enjoyed that.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Women can be superheroes. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ally, you would call.
Oh, you're a
right?
male feminist.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm also part of the Black Panther Party, so
Nice.
shut that down.
Yeah, see we support the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're men of the people. Anyway, now that I derailed everything.
I know. I was like, man, I was already like, I don't know, bro. Zionism pisses me.
Oh, jeez. Wait, so
So
let's get off of the Rob Zombie Halloweens. We keep
all right,
finding
yeah,
our
because
way
I
back
can
to
also
these.
just always nitpick that second one, and I can praise the first one for parts and segments and
I've
what
just got like 2 episodes with Doug coming out, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'm all Rob Zombied out. I should probably.
I'll go to the Gordon Greens.
Yeah.
So what I was saying with Halloween Ends, and this would be my last touch with Rob Zombie. You saw in Rob Zombie's first one how he grew up as a little boy, why he would go down that path, what would lead to it.
Yeah.
What you see in Gordon Greens is someone on a later end, who, like I said, the whole thing with the kid who was being a little shit and then he fucking dies. Becomes a pariah. People judge him, look at him. The synopsis of what has happened with Halloween, Michael Myers, but where's Michael Myers? Laurie Strode's just living a normal life. It just is a town tensed up with fear, and they constantly lash out at each other. Kind of like earlier we talked about unrest during COVID.
Yeah.
There was all this civil unrest, and then they find this one dude who's now very much affected by what happened that night with that kid. But seeing from the movie, it's like, yo, like he really, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to do that shit. I know what he said, but I'm pretty sure, obviously in that movie, he wouldn't want to do that.
You're talking about the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's a very effective beginning.
Mhm.
I like that. Probably my favorite part of the movie, actually.
Oh, I know. I was
that
like,
intro.
violence on children, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
I was like, gotta add them in a GTA.
Yeah. There was something else I was gonna say. I forgot. You can.
So that's
wanna,
what I
like,
liked.
add on.
Ends to me it wasn't an anthology how Halloween 3 made it, but because you got a glimpse of someone else being the shape and donning the mask and becoming the essence of evil. I was like, well, yeah, but he's not Michael Myers. Yeah, but bro, first of all, once he put on the outfit, he walked and resembled Michael Myers in Halloween 2. That's something you got to look at. If no one ever really looked at how he started moving, the camera light, and how the mask looked, there's a lot of Halloween 2 in there. The good Halloween 2.
Yeah. I'll have to rewatch it.
And then once Michael Myers gets the mask, it looks like Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So you would say you had the modern day shape because now he's like, fuck it, you know what? All this hatred turned into anger and hatred. All this evil, everything, all these bad feelings. You guys want to lash out on me? A mistake happened that I didn't want. I'm gonna make you feel how I feel, And you then see that's where it kind of gets a little tied up. Is like I liked that story arc because most of the film is spent.
Yeah.
How you said you're like, man, I forget I'm watching a Halloween film because it took the time to develop the boogeyman or the boogie teen, whatever you want to call him. It took its time and he unleashed all of his fucking evil. He was fucking relentless. It was dope. Michael Myers, well, no, he gets fucking shot up by Laurie. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Halloween Ends, which is many years ago. He gets fucking shot because he tries to go after her, taking away the one thing he loves, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, nah, Michael Myers comes in, like, nah, nigga, there's unfinished business here. She took care of you, give me that. Yeah. And then, like, Laurie finishes her triumph, her story, like, I no longer have to live in fear. There's unrest. I now possess the mask. That's like facing your fears, I guess. Some of the things she did say in her little book, like some of her little soliloquies when she was typing and shit, There was some corny, cheesy
Yeah,
shit.
I didn't love that.
Yeah.
Hearing you describe everything that way, it all kind of reminds me of Stephen King's It. Like this evil that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
looming
And the town
over
of Derry
this
was
town.
always afraid.
Yeah, making people just commit these awful acts.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pennywise not even being like
Yeah, they're only doing it because they're
The-
afraid and confused, and they don't know what tomorrow or tonight has to offer. So before evil happens to us, you end up doing something
Yeah.
evil yourself.
I say that not even realizing on your vest that you have a Halloween and it
Oh,
pin on your
I
vest,
got a
same side.
Child's Play. I got a
Oh,
Chucky.
nice.
This is a Halloween 4 rarity pin. I was hesitant to put this on here
Mhm.
because it was a collector's item. When I found it cost a pretty good amount of money, I was just like, I gotta have it though. Like that's a dope ass shot to have
See-
little Jamie, Dr. Loomis, and Michael on it.
That makes me wish. I've never really worn a jean jacket, but that makes me wish I had like a vest or something just to
Yeah.
put pins on. I've never really bought pins because I never had anything to
Yeah.
put them on, and seeing pins on something, I'm like, damn, should I like be a pin guy? Should
Dude,
I start buying pins?
I got pins. I have an ass load of patches. I've
been staring at your pins
Yeah.
the whole time.
There's another one. Where's the other one? I seriously hope it. Oh, this is VHS tapes. Halloween,
Nice.
Friday 13th,
And
Nightmare on Elm
then
Street.
Captain America, Punisher.
Yeah, this one's just Best Buds for Life. That's an acid. That's Satan, and then some little Skull and Lightning. But
Nice.
I've had this vest for a while and the pins for a while, and then I have an ass load of band patches too. An ass load. Like the Motorhead is going on the back. That's just
Nice.
classic. I love Motorhead. But if you get a jean jacket vest, comes with a lot of bullshit, man. A lot of dudes want to blow you.
Really? For having a jean jacket vest? Or is it because I'm bringing it up right
No,
now?
I'm just fucking
Oh.
with you. No, my brother would always be like, "Oh, you sure like your denim, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I had a jean jacket when I was in like 7th or 8th grade that I didn't mind wearing, but a lot of Kyle's friends made fun of me for wearing it. I wore it because like Cliff Burton
Yeah.
wore his jean jacket, so that's the whole reason I wore it. And like, yeah,
Bro, I
Kyle's
love
friends made
thrash, so
fun
it's
of me.
kind of hard for me to even like gravitate away from it.
Yeah, it's
Like the hat, it is the only hat I fucking wear.
which hat is
The
it?
Suicidal Tendencies hat.
Oh, nice.
Damn it, I forgot it was fucking on backwards.
I love hats. I have a whole bunch of hats up there. I have a couple hats in the back that I washed. The hat that I wear the most, I have well, right now that I wear the most is I have a jean, like a denim hat that it says Quentin Tarantino on it,
Oh, no shit.
and then I have a pink Carhartt hat.
Carhartt. Okay.
Carhartt. Yeah, I think I pronounce it weird. It for some reason it's just a weird word for me to pronounce.
I think it's Carhartt.
No.
No, it's not.
Okay.
The fucking look you gave.
Yeah. I was like, what the? No, that's impossible. I've never heard that come out of a human's mouth before.
Es un Carhartt. Was it? So that's how I viewed Halloween Ends,
Yeah.
because
You make me really no one's compelled me more to want to rewatch those movies, and I'm off of work for 5 days, so honestly, I might
I got
watch
them on
Kills
Blu-ray.
and
I can.
and
You. I want to say you're not dropping me off. I want to say I'll just.
I mean, you
fucking
don't
give
live
them
that far away. I can come and pick them up whenever you're not doing anything or something. I'm sure too, like after I watch Halloween Kills, we could probably like record something.
Oh hell
Well, I might have Peacock. That's I said that aggressively. Jeez,
Yeah.
Peacock.
You took a nice little break after P
Mhm.
too.
I'm hoping Universal and Warner Brothers combine their streaming services so it can be called Max Cock. I think that'll be a good move on both of their parts.
Max Cock would be legit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why not? Fuck it. Why not call your streaming service Max Cock?
Mhm.
What have you got
Max
to
Cock
lose at this
Plus.
point? It'll probably make more money. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you have to lose at this point? It's about to be the fucking Wild West eventually. We're going to
Yeah.
be living in Mad Max.
Max Cock Plus would be,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like the plus sign. Have a dick tip on the top part of the plus mark, and
Oh,
then
man.
you have the testicles kind of create like
Let's
a line
do it.
underneath.
Warner Brothers, if you're listening, and we know you are, take note. Warner
Mhm.
Brothers, Universal. It wouldn't even be. It's not even Warner Brothers and Universal. It's Discovery and Comcast.
Yeah.
So Discovery and Comcast. If you guys are, isn't that just weird?
Yeah.
Hearing the people that own the fucking entertainment
Mhm.
system or entertainment industry. It was AT&T who owned Warner Brothers, but they dropped the ball hard with them, and so Discovery Network, they own WB now.
Jesus.
Yeah. They're just all passing around Warner Brothers, just trying to get it right.
Just get rid of that fucking toad. That's all they want to do.
If they can get the DC universe right, they might be able to
Oh
get some
shit! That's
money.
a whole nother can of worms right there.
Where are you at with James Gunn? I'm pro James Gunn going the wackier, more comic
I definitely don't mind
approach.
him. I mean, at least he has a better approach and plan than what the fuck I've witnessed.
Where do you stand on the Snyderverse? Did you see the Snyder cut?
Yeah.
You saw the Snyder cut, the 4 hours?
Yeah.
Well, you don't really see it, you experience it, right?
Oh,
Since
I
it's
had a
4
fucking
hours.
portable dab rig. I was experiencing the shit
You
out of
can
it.
feel yourself age by the end of that movie.
Dude, when I saw Martian Manhunter, I was fucking.
So you're on board with the Snyder cut?
I like it.
Me too.
It's
yeah.
way better than Whedon.
I couldn't read if you thought it was like good or bad.
I try to
proceeding
give
with
away very
caution.
little facial expressions to you.
Yeah, so I like the Snyder cut. It's way better than the fucking pile of shit that you said. Did you just say that? Yeah.
Dude, that movie's dog shit. The only other
awful.
superhero movie that is worse than that is the 2016 Fantastic Four. That movie is absolute dog shit. That's the one with
Ezra Miller. No, Miles Teller. Whiplash himself.
Yeah, Miles Teller.
Yeah.
That constipated looking white woman.
Yeah, the girl. Is she from The Boys?
No. I can see why you said that.
Yeah, I don't remember who.
I forget
it is.
what else she did.
Michael B. Jordan. And then I don't know who plays the Thing.
I forget who played the Thing too.
Or Dr. Doom. I saw that movie when I was in the hospital, so given everything else that was on TV, it was tolerable. I don't remember seeing. I remember nothing fucking happens in that movie. I remember just being like,
I would have fucking unplugged my own breathing
like,
machine.
It's so weird for being in a. I wasn't even on one, but I just unplugged it anyway. I called the nurse and I was like, just pull the plug on me. Just can you euthanize me?
Dude,
take me to a vet
I
and
showed
just
that.
put me down. But that must speak volumes to just how bad this movie is, or the fact that I was in a hospital. I mean, nothing else to do but watch this TV. This is the best thing that's on TV, and I have little to no memory of anything that I remember a lot of conversations happening about shit that, like, they were going to a planet or something, or
yeah, they went to Planet Doom.
did they like rip off Gravity or something? Like, was there a wave?
That movie was.
Remember Dr. Doom walking on like the moon or something? Like,
I've only seen
tell
it
me
twice.
the plot.
I've only seen it twice, and the first time was terrible, so I watched it again with Anthony. That was like during 2020, 2021.
Did you guys choose to watch it together?
I made him watch it because he was just like, I think we watched.
So it was a punishment.
Because we watched.
Ruffled your feathers the wrong way, and you're like, "Hey, I have a movie recommendation."
I think this was after we watched the Snyderverse cut of Justice League, like the next day. After that 4 hours, I was not.
Did he like the Snyder cut?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be worse if he hated it, and you're like, "How about 2 more hours of something?"
I know. How about another 90 minutes of dog shit?
Yeah.
I know. No.
Who made that? Josh Trank.
I freaking forget. It's not even worth noting in my.
I think it's the guy who did Chronicle. Made that. I think Josh Trank is his name.
Dude, I just remember. Obviously, it's the experiment that goes wrong, or the journey, adventure. exploration goes wrong. Excuse me. And they get their abilities. Obviously, the thing's the thing. He hates himself. He fucking he's a rock man now.
This movie just doesn't exist. It fully
Bro,
doesn't exist. I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, people remember Daredevil, and I mean, what's Elektra might be up there with like this and like superhero movies that don't exist. Like you're talking about it, and I'm like, this is the most anyone's talked about this movie probably.
And I'm struggling to recall it.
Let's keep going though. What?
So
the Thing looked really bad.
Obviously, Dr. Doom.
Maybe the best villain.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Maybe the best villain Marvel has. Maybe.
Obviously he's in there, so they're gonna introduce their main villain. They're of course all struggling with their powers, how to learn them, yada yada. It's really the plot of the film is very hard for me to remember, both from the pen and it just being a bad movie that you make fun of.
Yeah,
you get your enjoyment out of making fun of it.
It's almost like not even worth.
No,
you're almost just like you wouldn't even like step on it. You would just like cross
Victor Doom,
the street, walk away from it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Victor Doom realizes his power and potential. Obviously, they think he's crazy, which clearly he's like a mad scientist. He leaves. I want to say he has Planet Doom. I'm doing a horrible job retelling this movie. So your listeners, if this is your favorite movie and I'm not doing it justice, I don't apologize. It's not a good movie.
Honestly, this is probably better than the movie you actually saw.
Yeah, the biggest thing I remember is the Thing has his signature line, his tagline. Do you remember what it is?
It's clobbering time?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay, I'm glad I got that.
Yeah, so when they did the 2004 Fantastic Four, at least Michael Chiklis was like, it's clobbering time type shit. This motherfucker, he makes his like triumphant return to the field of battle because I think like they're fighting Doom and things ain't looking so good for the Fantastic Four. The chick doesn't look any less constipated than she does the whole movie.
Even when she's invisible, she's looking constipated.
She looks worse when she's invisible because you can see the shit floating around by her ass. I'm like, you lady, you got to take care of that. But not Michael Chiklis. I don't even remember the actor who played
Michael
the Thing.
B. Jordan. Oh no, I don't.
The Thing comes on screen. I think he hits Dr. Doom, and then he's gonna go hit him again, but he's gonna say his famous tagline, and he's just, it's like he just looks at Doom and it's clobbering time.
No, like
it didn't even feel emphatic or soulful.
Fuck that.
Because I remember I was like, Anthony, I didn't just see that like myself, right? Like that looked like he just tossed his hands and shoulders. Like, it's clobbering time, like, clobber.
Can I shift it over to the new Fantastic Four?
Are we talking what
Marvel is about
Doctor
to
Strange
do?
in like the Multiverse of Madness when they had?
Know what Marvel's about to do?
I used to be very big into the MCU stuff. I'm still big into comic books. I'm never going to stop that. So I've definitely taken a step back
from
the MCU and what they've been trying to do.
So you didn't see the casting info for Fantastic Four?
Is this relatively new?
Maybe like a month old.
Oh, yeah. Then no, I didn't.
Pedro Pascal is going to be Reed Richards.
No shit.
Me personally, I feel like that's lazy casting.
We don't have any other actors right now in Hollywood.
It's just...
I like them.
That's such an annoying casting choice. It's the same thing as, like, a couple years ago, they were putting Tom Holland in everything, and it wasn't working. Uncharted kind of put an end to that. And right now, we're seeing it with Pedro Pascal. We're going to get, like, 3 or 4 years of too much of him.
Well,
his character is gonna get killed off in The Last of Us.
It's him,
and then fucking boom.
We have Pascal, Tom Holland, and Timothy. Was it Chalamet? Whatever.
Timothy Chalamet is Timothy Chalamet is different than Pascal. Pascal studios are picking him and casting him and just being like, we have a lead role. Who's hot? Pascal, put him in it. Chalamet is just happening to find big success right now. Wonka overperformed better than I think Warner Brothers anticipated.
I didn't see it.
And Dune overperformed better than Warner Brothers anticipated. And then also fucking Warner Brothers just put out no, that was Legendary. I don't think Warner Brothers did Godzilla Kong. Maybe they did. If they did, Warner Brothers is having a great time right now with overperformers, except for Furiosa, because that's doing really bad, unfortunately. But
I didn't know that. I did not check box office or anything like that.
yeah, Furiosa's doing pretty bad. But yeah, Timothée Chalamet is just someone who is just now like happening to find success. He might happening to find like massive blockbuster success. He might get to the oversaturation point, but the reason if it feels like they're putting him in everything, that was just an accident. It just Wonka and Dune just happened to line up so close together, and both of those movies just fucking crushed, at the box office. Did you see Wonka?
No, I said that.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I think I was going too much. There are sometimes you just gotta stop me.
Oh, bro, again, I'm like,
going
man,
way too
he's
long.
the host of the show.
I
Clearly
thought you
gets
were
a
about
hard
to
on.
fall asleep as I was talking. But,
No, I was just, I get lost in your eyes sometimes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of Wonka. Not a fan. But, yeah, Pascal, I didn't like him being cast as Reed Richards. I just felt like that was lazy. It's like, come on. Do what you guys did with Thor and Loki and just cast like lesser known actors that can really just own these fucking roles, and then start putting new people on. You guys are complaining, not you guys, but like there are complaints that like nobody can like open a box office or like sell a movie. Like studios are just saying there's no movie stars. It's like because you guys keep putting the same fucking people in everything, and if it's not working, find new people. Find new people. Do what you did with Hugh Jackman. Fucking X-Men is Hugh Jackman's first movie credit. He was doing stage plays in Australia and like Oklahoma on like TV or something.
No shit, I didn't know.
And then, like, I had someone tell me, they're like, oh, I was watching Hugh Jackman and stuff from way before X-Men. I was like, that can't be true. It was like X-Men was his first movie. Unless he did like one thing before. I think the only credit he had before it is like a recorded version of a stage play of Oklahoma. And then it's just from there he's just Wolverine.
Yeah, it's done him well.
Yeah, and they should just do that. They used to make stars because they let new actors like.
Bro, you're gonna really piss off when they do
shit.
a buddy cop movie with Pedro Pascal and The Rock.
Oh man, well The Rock, he needed Black Adam to just fucking bomb right in his face.
I watched like the first 15 minutes of that movie, jerked off and turned it off. I just wasn't into it.
He needed that ego check. I feel like he was just getting too out of hand. You know, he was putting his brand above everything else, and it's like, damn, well, your brand fucking just bit you right in the ass.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll have to try to...
Are you able to move the mic a little bit closer? Yes, that's good.
I'll have to try to fucking finish Black Adam at some point.
It's not good.
I know. Did you see The Flash? I haven't watched The Flash.
So...
I just want to see Michael Keaton.
But
I struggle with the DC
I'm
films.
glad I can say this since you haven't seen it. This might not sway or influence you, but a lot of people hate that movie. Understandably so when it comes to the Ezra Miller thing and not
the controversy,
wanting
like the off-screen
to support
controversy
them.
shit.
The what?
Like the off-screen antics and shit.
Yeah, the fucking awful things and like harassment and like abuse and all of that. I don't remember all the details, so I don't really want to try and get it wrong.
That's like me with that Fantastic Four recap.
Yeah.
Bro.
He I think I have to say allegedly, all of his alleged stuff that they did is, they. It's a weird situation. Sorry.
I could tell.
I'm on thin ice. I can feel I'm losing everybody right now.
No,
Right, not
no.
kidding.
They're just shaking their head and hashtagging misogynist, hashtag cancel Nick's podcast,
Yeah.
hashtag
Everyone's gonna turn on me.
free Palestine or some shit.
But so a lot of people I think just turned on the movie right out of the gate. But I loved The Flash.
Okay. I have no.
I cried at the end so hard in a movie by
shit.
myself, just bawling my eyes out. I really love The Flash. I know love is a strong word, but I was in a really low
It's also
point.
a battlefield.
Yeah, good point. I was at a really low point in my life when when The Flash came out. It was like a month or two before I checked myself into rehab.
Yeah.
And man, yeah, there was something about it. It hit me. I was wrapped in. I was just like, man, I wish Ezra Miller didn't fuck everything up so hard, because I feel like this movie really would have had a chance to
I know a lot of
be
people who
something.
didn't.
It's gonna fucking fade, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the only one that remembers it.
I'll watch it. I mean, hell,
years.
I did not expect you to say that. I don't.
No one does. They're always like, "Are you crazy?" And I feel like people went in there wanting to hate it
Yeah.
because of everything that happened.
That's the thing, man. I know people get mad or maybe judge you when it's like, bro, whether it's look past or it's in my fucking rear view window or it's in front of me. I don't really give a shit. Like, I'm
separating the art from the
yeah,
artist.
and I know some people really get mad when like you say that shit, and it's just like, dude.
I mean, people do it with Michael Jackson all the time. People were doing it with fucking R. Kelly for a long time. It's like people knew about all the R. Kelly shit. It's like people have done it all the time.
Bro, you got the Puff Diddler out there. You know, all that shit's coming about.
And if you can't do that, that's okay. There's like nothing wrong with it. But it's like, don't judge me because I'm able to do it. There are certain things where I'm not able to do it. Like Tim Lambesis from As I Lay Dying, like the whole trying to have his wife killed
the
thing.
Hitman thing.
That's just something where I left that band in the rear view. You know, I was like, I don't really get any kind of enjoyment out of it. I mean, he's writing super religious lyrics, and he tried to do that. I'm like, I get nothing from this anymore.
Yeah.
These are the words of a hypocrite. So I'm like, I can't find any real enjoyment in it. You know?
You're not gonna go see them this summer when they tour?
I didn't even know they were touring. I've not given a shit about that band.
July 21st, I think. Maybe this year or next year.
Yeah, I've just actively just erased that band. I don't know. It's to the point where it's just effortless at this, but I just made that decision. I was like, yeah, I've even tried to listen to As I Lay Dying. I'm like, no, I can't do it. Like, these words just seem so fake now. Like, these are words I actually used to care about, and it's like, this dude, you can't how convenient you found God again after you went to jail. It's like, you know.
It's because those thoughts, bro, carry him through the darkest nights.
Jesus. Maybe he did change, but I don't know the dude personally, so I can't really, you know. All I can do is read what I, see that he said in an interview, and
form your own opinion.
There's not enough context provided by that, so I'm not really in the position to have my opinion changed right now.
No, I feel you. Feel how you feel, man. I've read their lyrics when I was listening to them, but the guitar player in me was definitely more focused on all the other shit.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine too. If people like As I Lay Dying, that's cool. There's other members in that band that are making a living.
Was it Mancino?
Mancino, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are other members in that band that are super talented and they're making a living.
I don't think Nick Hippa's doing it. I don't think he.
Yeah, I think he's completely anti-Tim.
Yeah, because I know he's with God Forbid, or doing work with them.
God Forbid.
I wish they would do another album.
They might. Is Doc in God Forbid, or is Bad Wolves keeping him away from that?
I really don't know. I don't really. Do you like Bad Wolves?
I like a couple songs. They're a bit too like they're not interesting enough for me,
I don't really.
honestly.
Did you? Matter of fact, since we're on the subject of this type of shit, did you see the lineup for Mayhem Fest that they want to do for that one-off show? And then
I gotta look
I know
at
they're
it.
coming back next year, but
I gotta look at it. At this point, I mean, I really want to see Ginger, so like
they're on there.
they might be enough to sell me on like going to Mayhem. I might, if tickets are cheap, I'll just go to be with friends. Honestly,
'Cause I know it's
I need a good friend concert.
Bad Omens,
Yep.
Parkway Drive, Architects. What was the one you just said? Ginger, Kitty,
Ginger,
fucking Darkest Hour, Unearthed,
Darkest Hour, man.
Throwdown.
I don't know who they caught doing what, or like what dirt they have on somebody to be able to just have the longevity they've had in the music industry. I've met no one that's like thought of them as their favorite band before.
I mean, I love the Undoing Ruin album. Like I fucking
I know.
I'll vouch. I'll fucking die on that hill. That's one of my favorite albums. I'd listened to it, I think, a week ago.
But do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah, they're not a name that's
been
gonna be
around.
like.
They're always on any like festival. Like you can guarantee Darkest Hour is gonna be somewhere on that lineup.
I was a little shocked to see that. I was shocked to see Unearthed. I was like, oh shit, okay, there's a lot of 2005 callbacks here.
Unearthed was a band I could never fully get into.
We're gonna fucking throw down right now, bro.
You're not a huge. I mean, there are songs I should revisit Unearthed. I've come around on Shadows Fall.
Then again,
recently.
it is again like the guitar player in me, like Ken Suzy and Buzz McGrath at that age. You know, they had a heavily influenced.
I think metalcore.
Shadows Fall. I was just listening to The War Within 2 nights ago.
Yeah, I was listening to on my playlist. Enlightened by the Cold came up. I love that song. That song's heavy as shit.
I'm happy I got to see them perform at Allstate Arena, that Subliminal Versus tour with Slipknot.
Oh, nice.
To see them promote War Within, Lamb of God, promote Ashes of the Wagon, and Slipknot promoting. I mean, it was.
I've seen them maybe 10 times, maybe a little less. They've just been on a lot of shows. When they were like active, they were on a lot of shows that I went to, and they were never a band that I disliked, but I just never loved them. Like Kyle was a big Shadows Fall fan, and they never really did it for me. But there's something, I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's me getting older and realizing that they're a band that my brother cares about so much, and they're also like, they play metal. I can recognize their talent and their ability, and maybe just all of that working together and memories associated with that band. Maybe I'm just liking them more because of all of that, or maybe taste change. Who knows?
Yeah.
It feels like there's a bit of a sentimental reason behind it, but
I was gonna say it sounds nostalgic.
Sure. Yeah, but nostalgic for a band that never really meant a whole lot to me personally. So I don't know. It's weird.
Did you consider maybe you like Menton?
I did.
You're a Shadows Fall fan, all right.
I'm still thinking about it. Should we end it there?
We could.
All right. Well, that's been the podcast.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you have anything you want to plug? Anything coming up, or any final words? Anything? We're almost at 2.5 hours. So
2.5 hours. Wow,
this
has been a joy. It's been fun. I'm definitely, when we took that little 2 to 5 minute break, I definitely felt the pen a lot more that second go around. Yeah. But I will finalize with this.
Yeah, get out anything you need to. I'll give you the floor. For. You know?
It's more of a serious thing would be like, things like this feel good for myself, having a place to go and speak. You know, I definitely, if anyone's listening and someone's like struggling with depression, anxiety, nervousness, self-worth, even existing, all that good shit, you know, you matter. Maybe if you don't want to go to therapy, find something that's therapeutic for you. Be kind to one another, because as the older I get, I'm allowing myself to turn into an asshole. So check yourself before someone else checks you. You know, these are things I try to keep in mind as I'm going through certain struggles. And I know this is like a completely different topic of what we were just talking about.
No, I mean, say whatever you got to say.
Mm.
Now's the time. You have the floor.
Yeah. And I guess when we started, we talked about a podcast. I think mine's is a little, I would call it the podcast live stream type thing. That's something I would like to work towards. And if you're someone who's listening and you're like, man, I'd like to be a part of something, I mean, get in touch. It would take time for me to get to a point where I know I want to get committed to doing it, but that's me working on myself. I'd rather be the best version of myself.
Do you want to plug your social media?
Well, I mean, I have Facebook and Instagram, and I prefer Instagram, that's ShortWolf31. Facebook is I just ship post. You've seen that. I do absolutely nothing serious on there.
No, like I don't really ever plug my Facebook. I go to Letterboxd and Instagram usually. You should make a Letterboxd though.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have you here. You should definitely make a Letterboxd.
Okay.
Just logging your movies, ranking your movies, reviewing them. It takes like a minute to kind of get the format down a little bit, but once you get the hang of it, get the ball rolling. It's super fun.
Yeah.
You can like make lists. I have like
I'm down with that because that'll get my
lists.
fucking filmography in order, like what I know I've watched and what I want to watch.
It's really helpful for that. You can keep track of the day that you watched everything, how many times you've watched it, all your reviews on everything, different rankings throughout the year. And if you pay for like the version that I have, you can get your stats throughout everything. So I can see like which decades I have the highest rated movies in, and like which movies from those decades I have. It like goes into in-depth details. You can look up what actors you've watched the most stuff in for like each year. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. It's my favorite social media thing, and you're very limited on communication. The only form of communication you can have is commenting on other people's reviews, and it's really rare to find hostility in the comment section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even for like a nasty review, people will usually, if they disagree, like they usually won't comment anything. A lot of the comments are like, I agree with this review, or like, you know, it's good. A lot of people use it just to be funny too.
I know you've brought it to my attention before, but I know on like Facebook you would bring it up on like a post like, hey, if you haven't checked out Letterboxd, something like that. So I know you've always promoted it and enjoyed it. And that is something that I know will probably be beneficial, like I said, to keep things in line. And
I'm trying to get all my friends on there. It's a very positive social media platform, though. It's one of the few where I'm like, get on that. There's not toxicity there.
Yeah, I always forget.
It's just logging movies.
I guess I'll plug Of the Dead. There's music.
That's
out there.
I was listening to your guys' EP before we started doing this. The EP is really solid. There's more stuff I'm noticing now than the last time I had listened to it. Your vocals are great. The guitar work is great. The drumming is awesome. It's all great. Every aspect of it is great, and you guys should give it a listen. It's an awesome set of 4 songs? 4 or 5?
4-song EP. The way I like to kind of always describe it is listen to it start to finish. I'm always someone that once I started doing vocals, it was nice to have an outlet of your feelings that guitar just couldn't handle. So I used a lot of the lyrics to identify, and I didn't really hold back on the lyrics. I tried it to be as much, if you can understand it, I tried it to be as honest as possible.
Yeah.
So that's, Of the Dead's on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, iTunes.
Apple Music, Spotify.
All your major ones. Amazon.
You guys are on YouTube also.
YouTube, Amazon. Also, I remember the 2-episode little podcast ordeal that I had done with my buddy Jeremy. That was called Rumpus Hour. That's on YouTube. I hate saying this, but that's something that I'm really not focused on doing.
Yeah.
It's just something I have a lot of shit I need to focus on, and right now I have to focus, it feels like, at one thing at a time.
Yeah. And if there's anybody looking for vocal performances or liked anything they heard, Shorty's now accepting job opportunities for vocal work.
I wouldn't mind doing vocals
like,
either.
Oh shit, that happened on this episode. Yeah, that break. broke up a little bit. I had to like remember shit. What did we talk about?
We talked about a lot.
Happened off mic. Yeah.
We talked about a lot, but the vocal work, either metal or hey, if someone hears this, I get my eyebrows and ears perk up about the whole voice acting thing.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna encourage this. I'm gonna try and encourage this as much as I can. But anything else you want to say before we get going?
I look forward to coming back if you'd have me again.
Yeah, I really like this. So yeah, if you have any like topics or like we could do loose discussions like this or come prepared with something if we want.
To the listeners,
we did a lot of movie talk, so if there's something
Tune
you
in.
want me to watch,
I think you saw
we
Late
can do
Night with
it.
the Devil, right?
I did. Yes.
Did you like it?
I did. Yeah.
All right, we can get into that on another day.
We'll also do the Halloween movie thing. I don't know if we talked about that on mic, but we'll do that.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. We did talk
the
a lot of things.
weekly
That 2
Halloween
minute break we took.
check-in. Oh, was that in the break?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that'll be a little bit of a little sneak peek for a couple months from now. Yeah.
It would be nice. That'd be very nice. I'm down with that.
Yeah. So
you guys
we know
should keep tuning in.
We'll see you back in October. But before then, we'll see you definitely.
I was gonna say, damn, I was shooting for fucking tomorrow. No, I was just fucking with you, dude. But no, I appreciate this. This was fun. This was cool. I have no negative connotations or remarks. I think you looked great doing it while we did it.
I like the outfit you got going on.
Oh,
too.
the fat Mexican biker.
When I say you coming up, I was like, damn, that's metal. That's a very metal look. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a very uncommon look around those parts.
Yeah, I look like your accountant or something.
Who loves you like
trick or treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, follow me on Instagram at Nicki Minaj 93 and follow me on Letterboxd. It's my name, Nicholas Ewers. And any last words?
And the words of Jerry Springer. Be kind to yourselves and each other.
Nice. Well, Nick and Shorty signing out.
Peace.